Welcome to Haywood Stadium on the banks of the Tennessee River, right here at Baylor School for the final, hard to believe, final game of the regular season tonight. It'll be the Red Raiders taking on the Fighting Irish of Knox Catholic this evening. Should be a good contest here this evening. Now, for the Red Raiders, as you know, they have locked up the number one seed. They've locked up the district championship. They have locked up home field advantage for the first couple rounds, getting a first-round bye next week. They'll be at home for the remainder of the playoffs, and maybe the longest trip they make would be to Finley Stadium for a championship game. So, Craig Cecil, what are the Red Raiders playing for tonight?
Well, they want to stay sharp, and they want to clean some things up from last week, because what you want to do is be peaking as you go into the postseason, especially with next week off. You want to be playing as well as you possibly can. So stay sharp, eliminate some of the penalties that we saw last week, and yet maintain the spectacular offensive production that we've grown accustomed to seeing the last two seasons.
Yeah, I would say this. When I talked to Eric Kimry early on today, he was saying what we want to do is stay in rhythm. When you think about it, football is a very rhythmic sport, right? It's for the most part, every Friday or every Saturday or every Sunday, whatever it is. And again, you get the ball, you huddle, you do this, bam, 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 very methodic. He said, we want to stay in that rhythm. And as you said, there's a couple things he'd like to work out before. Now, I'm not sure how long number 3, Briggs Cherry, is going to play tonight. I think he'll at least get a half, and we'll see what the score is. But Baylor isn't really playing for anything technically tonight, meaning everything's wrapped up that they wanted to do. And when I ask about what about that undefeated season, sometimes I throw the softball there, and I know it's going to be hit back hard. He goes, that's not even on our radar screen. He said, we don't even worry about that. It's not something we even talk about. We want to be playing our best football, as you said, heading into the playoffs, but that'll be 2 weeks from tonight.
Well, you talk about rust versus rest, and really you want to prevent the rust, but they need the rest. It's been a long physical season, but again, Jim, you want to be playing as well as you possibly can, especially here, a home game, and it's senior night, so everybody wants to walk off this field with a bang and a W.
Yeah, bang and a W, and no tears can be shed on senior night, regardless of what you're thinking, right? What about this Knox Catholic team? Now, they have a chance to move up from a 5 seed to a 4 seed. We'll see if that happens tonight. They've switched quarterbacks. They've done some things, but we're going to see a great matchup tonight. Tyreek King, the wide receiver for Knox Catholic, a 5-star committed to Tennessee. So when we see Jamie and Theodore and Tyreek King tonight, they're going to be teammates next year, but I have a hunch tonight it's going to be pretty darn interesting.
Tyreek King is the man to stop for Knox Catholic.
Number 7 for the Irish.
To Baylor School, Haywood Stadium, Red Raider Field, in tonight's district game between the Knoxville Catholic, Fighting Irish, and the Red Raiders of Baylor. We would like to extend a warm welcome to our visitors from Knoxville, and at this time we would like to introduce the starting lineup for the Irish, coached by Philip Shadowins. In numerical order, they are number 2, Brooks Johnston, sophomore free safety. Number 3, sophomore wide receiver Braylon Gibbs. Number 4, senior defensive back Chaz Smith. Number 5, sophomore defensive back Xavier Bowman. Number 6, senior linebacker Dominic Dadabo. Number 7, senior wide receiver Tyreek King. Number 8, freshman running back 10, the punter, junior Mac Bartholomew. Number 16, senior wide receiver Kaysen Jenkins. Number 17, sophomore defensive back Skylan Johnson. Number 18, the holder, number 12, Andrew Ballingy. Number 22, senior defensive back George Mancini. Number 30, junior running back Zeke Chestnut. Number 32, senior linebacker Caleb Johnson. Number 33, senior linebacker Gavin Jones. Number 45, junior defensive end Ethan Hill. Number 55, sophomore offensive lineman J.R. Fowler. Number 57, senior offensive and defensive lineman Anton Hamilton. Number 66, sophomore long snapper Jax Nichols. Number 71, senior offensive lineman Isiaga Yatara. Number 73, senior offensive lineman Jacob Rice. Number 76, senior offensive and defensive lineman Jeremy George. And number 93, the kicker, junior Christopher Olvera. Once again, the Fighting Irish are coached by Philip Shadowins.
Go for Partridge. Go for Partridge.
The referee for tonight's game is going to be Tony Young. The umpire is Travis Thurman. The head linesman Mike Winnie. The line judge Ron Bailey. Back judge Bill Greer. Field judge Patrick Wilson. Side judge Mike Baird. And the electric clock operator is Lamar Bankston. Tonight's game is made possible in part by Park Ridge Health System. With 5 hospitals working together as one in the Chattanooga region, Park Ridge Health provides a full range of medical and mental health care, including sports medicine and orthopedics. For more information, visit parkridgehealth.com. This game is being played according to the rules of the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association. These rules provide for fair competition among players. Spectators can also help to promote good sportsmanship by observing the rules of fair play. Each one is requested to take personal responsibility for keeping this game at a high level of sportsmanship.
Wait, Dan's going to announce now.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll turn attention to the Baylor Jumbotron, the Baylor starters will introduce themselves.
Jamie and Theodore, defensive back, senior.
Jordan Davangila, cornerback, junior.
Kobe Barrett, safety, senior.
Corey Faulkner, linebacker, junior.
Cosmo Mario, linebacker, sophomore.
Keegan Whaley, outside linebacker, senior.
Maxim Subonyako, linebacker, sophomore.
Anselme Julien, linebacker, junior.
Jean-Pierre Eto, safety, junior.
Isaac Beeson, defensive line, junior.
Jacob Tate, defensive lineman, junior.
Jaden Arenas-Michell, defensive lineman, senior.
David Gabriel George, running back, junior.
Caden Dewey, wide receiver, senior.
Briggs Cherry, quarterback, senior.
Hank DeGennaro, receiver, sophomore.
Judah Smith, wide receiver, senior.
Braxton Rain, tight end, sophomore.
Cash Freeman, center, and junior.
Max McClure, left guard, junior.
Charlie Edgeworth, offensive line, senior.
Xavier Wade, right guard, senior.
John King, offensive line, senior.
Gabriel Othenda, offensive line, senior.
Charlie Silverman, long snapper, senior.
Sam Shutters, kicker, punter, junior.
Well, good evening again, Baylor Nation. This being the last regular season home game, it is senior night at Baylor, a chance to show our appreciation for the graduating seniors who have contributed so much to the football program during their years at Baylor. At the same time, we will thank their parents whose dedication has meant so much to the program. We will also get to see Coach Kimry run 100 yards as he lines up for each picture. First of all, the managers. We'll start with Emmeline Gibbs, a 3-year day student from Signal Mountain, Tennessee. She is escorted by her parents, Gregsby and Katie Gibbs. Emmeline Gibbs. Next is Karis Kimry, a 4-year day student from Chattanooga, Tennessee. She is escorted by her parents, Eric and Erica Kimry. Karis Kimry. Now the football players in numerical order. Number 1, Jamian Theodore, a 2-year boarder from Cleveland, Ohio. He is escorted by his parents, Anne and Edgar Theodore. Number 2, Caden Dewey, a 2-year boarder from Quebec, Canada. He is escorted by his parents, Crystal Dewey and Jamil Springer. Number 3, Briggs Cherry, a 3-year day student from Hickson, Tennessee. He is escorted by his parents, Brooks and Jamie Cherry. Number 8, Colby Barrett, a 2-year day student from Chattanooga, Tennessee. He is escorted by his parents, Brooke Tyler and Nathan Barrett. Number 14, Judah Smith, a 3-year day student from Ringgold, Georgia. He is escorted by his parents, Brandy and Earl Epps. Number 15, Keaton Whaley, a 4-year day student from Cleveland, Tennessee. He is escorted by his parents, Ashley Harmon and Valdez Whaley. Number 21, Max Mininger, a 7-year day student from Hickson, Tennessee. He is escorted by his parents, Dan and Shannon Mininger. Number 26, Timmy Mitch, a 5-year day student from Signal Mountain, Tennessee. He is escorted by his parents, Gina and Tim Mitch. Number 40, Brody Brooks, a 4-year day student from Chattanooga, Tennessee. He is escorted by his parents, Jason and Jennifer Brooks. Number 42, J.D. Martin, a 7-year day student from Ooltewah, Tennessee. He is escorted by his parents, John and Christy Martin. Number 66, Charlie Silberman, a 7-year day student from Lookout Mountain, Georgia. He is escorted by his parents, Carla and Pat and Jenny Silberman. Number 71, Charlie Edgeworth, a 3-year day student from Lookout Mountain, Georgia. He is escorted by his parents, Carla and Alex Edgeworth. Number 74, Xavier Wade, a 2-year boarding student from Ontario, Canada. He is escorted by his parents, Joe and Giselle Wade. Number 75, Jonathan King, a 6-year day student from Rossville, Georgia. He is escorted by his mother, Nicole King. Number 79, Gabe Osenda, a 2-year boarding student from Alberta, Canada. He is escorted by his mother and grandmother, Candice Colson and Pam Colosimo. Number 99, Jaden Arenas-Michell, a 2-year boarding student from Quebec, Canada. He is escorted by his parents, Esther Arenas and Jean-Marc Michel. Cheerleaders, starting with Caroline Curtis, a 7-year day student from Chattanooga, Tennessee. She is escorted by her parents, Kristen Curtis and Chris Curtis. Next is Kate Haney, a 7-year day student from Lookout Mountain, Georgia. She is escorted by her parents, Emily Hartman Haney and Jeff Haney. Next is Quinn Underwood, a 2-year boarding student from Signal Mountain, Tennessee. She is escorted by her mother, Cindy Underwood. And finally, Mary Harper Warren, a 7-year day student from Chattanooga, Tennessee. She is escorted by her parents, Mitch and Chrissy Warren. For one last team photo, let's hear it once again for our Baylor football class of 2026.
Fighting Irish and the Red Raiders, that's a pretty good class right there. Think about that. The 4-year guys came in with Eric Kimry now in his 4th year. That means Eric Kimry at Baylor's 41-6. So those guys that are seniors, if they had been here many of them have been here all 4 years. Think about that, 41-6.
That's a lot of W's.
Yeah.
That's over 10 a year. Man.
And they feel like they have a little unfinished business this year, right?
And it's easy to see why.
A lot of talent on that field, no question, with a great group. Now, not playing tonight, Caden Dewey is not going to play this evening, the senior, and Gabriel Osenda, the Tennessee commit, is not going to play tonight. It's one of those things, we talked about it earlier. They're in a situation where it doesn't mean anything for Baylor. They are set in stone, home field advantage the entire route of the playoffs with a first-round bye next week. So if those guys are a little bit under the weather, dinged up a little bit, they're going to hold them out tonight and make sure they're ready for 2 weeks from tonight. Baylor has a bye week next week, earned a bye by winning the district championship, and so they'll play 2 weeks from tonight.
Jim, last week's game against Ensworth was a very physical, hard-fought football game, and it's been a long season. Keep in mind, they started in August, and what a great luxury it is to be able to take some of your key players and give them basically 2 weeks off so that when the playoffs start, everybody is as close to 100% as you can be this time of year.
Coming into this game with a record of 8-0 for the year, 3-0, 5-0 at home, 3-0 on the road, and 4-0 perfect in district play so far this year. And the reason they don't have that one more win is the game at Brentwood Academy, as you recall, going all the way back to early September. That contest, I was going to say rained out, but it was lightning out. But they still made that trip, went all the way up, were ready to play. It was at They had already flipped a coin. They were ready to go and play, and then all of a sudden you had lightning, and the lightning delays kept on coming, and finally they said, you know what, let's go home as opposed to getting in at 4 in the morning or whatever.
When we talk about a lightning delay, folks, every time you're at a game and there's lightning, it's a 20-minute delay minimum.
So from the last lightning strike,
right,
it's 20 minutes. So you see a lightning strike, and it could be,
and it starts over.
19 minutes, and then it starts over again when you see the next strike. And that just kept happening in Nashville for that game, and that's the reason that they didn't play. So it'll be an interesting night tonight for the Red Raiders and the Fighting Irish of Knoxville Catholic. I think this is meeting number 12 all-time, and Baylor only owns a 6-5 lead in the all-time series. So it's been tight in the history of these two teams.
The Irish gone through a lot of transition the last couple of seasons, and they've made a change, as you talked about, at quarterback. They had Mac Bartholomew, the junior, but he just had trouble executing. And so they went to a sophomore, Garrett King. You'll see him tonight, number 9, 6'1", 170. And again, we talked about this earlier. Number 7, Tyreek King, is a 5-star difference maker. So they're going to get him the football as many times as they possibly can. And for Jamie and Theodore, this is a ringside matchup here tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're going to, why should I come and pay money or watch this game on YouTube? That's the reason, in my opinion. See number 7 for Knox Catholic, Tyreek King, taking on Jamie and Theodore and others for Baylor in that secondary. If those two are locked up one-on-one, which I think we'll see a lot of tonight, in all honesty, your best corner against your number 1 receiver. I think if you have those two squaring off against each other, both Tennessee commits, by the way, so they'll be doing it next year in camp in Knoxville, but they're going to be doing it on the field tonight, and I think that would be the price worth the price of admission tonight.
Jamie and Theodore has been up to the challenge each and every time the past 2 seasons, and this is just another one. This is another notch he can put in his belt buckle tonight.
So let's see what Knox Catholic does. They come into the game, you know what, their offensive numbers are not too shabby. They average 353 yards per game. That's not too bad for a high school team. 170 on the ground, 184 in the air. So that's what you call balanced. And when you take a look, they're averaging over 26 points per game. They do some things well, and again, they keep you guessing a little bit. And as we said, any level of football, what do you try to do? You try to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers, and number 7 is the number 1 playmaker. But they have a couple other receivers that do some good things as well.
And they have a running back, Cruz Bunton. He is just a freshman, and he's starting. So that tells you what? He's effective. 5'5", 180. They have an H-back instead of a tight end, Zeke Chestnut. He's 5'11", 210. They have some size on the offensive line. All in all, they want to have balance, and they want to play a methodical style of football tonight.
Yeah, I'd say for Baylor, the win is important. Not getting people hurt is really, really important. They want to go and make a little bit of a statement tonight and feel like, yes, they are playing their best. Heading into the playoffs, and again, first playoff game for Baylor is 2 weeks from tonight. Playoffs begin next week. Baylor has earned that first-round bye. They'll be at home for their 2 playoff games. If there are 2 playoff games, remember, it'll be one and done starting 2 weeks from tonight at Haywood Stadium. So the contest tonight, the final district game of the year, the Red Raiders and Fighting Irish, meeting number 12 all time.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to please stand for the invocation before tonight's game, to be delivered by Matt Farr, Baylor class of 2003, the chaplain of Baylor School. Then please remain standing for our national anthem, to be performed tonight by Baylor freshman Alex Kelly. First, Reverend Farr.
Please join with me in the spirit of prayer. Almighty God, on this All Hallows Eve night, we take comfort knowing that we have nothing to fear when we call upon you. We pray your protection on all those trick-or-treating tonight. We pray for your protection over those playing football when there are tricks on the field. May the only possessions that occur be of the football kind and not paranormal. We thank you for our dedicated volunteers, without whom our athletic programs would not be possible. We give special thanks for our stellar seniors who have given so much to this team and to Baylor. Our future success is built on their hard work. And from ghoulies and ghosties and long-legged beasties and things that go bump in the night, good Lord, deliver us. Amen.
There have been many types of raiders in history. Some came by land, others by water, but all arrived with fire in their hearts. Relentless, unshakable, like a repeating nightmare. There, every time you close your eyes, they move as one. Hungry, calculated, Each yard, a battle. Every hit, a warning. They live and breathe one goal, one purpose. To take, to break, to conquer. They are Red Raiders.
Going dumb, going crazy, going dumb, going crazy, going dumb, yeah, going crazy, going dumb. On my mind, lay it all out, lay it all out on the field right now. We all losing time, they don't lose your mind, they all bougie, huh? We fly movies, yeah, don't rock coochie, huh? Catch me Drake and Louis, huh? Posted with that Toolie, huh? But don't make me do it, huh? Playing games, you stupid, huh? I don't love a Cupid, huh? Aiming like Cam Newton, huh? Yeah, they think that we ruthless, huh? Who's on the other side of the ball doesn't matter. Every Friday night is ours when we're elite. You understand that? Going dumb, going crazy, going dumb, going crazy, going dumb, yeah, going crazy.
These Raiders are not to be trifled with. They are dangerous.
The captains will meet at midfield for the coin toss. The captains tonight for Catholic, number 6, Dominic Dadabo, number 16, Kason Jenkins, number 33, Gavin Jones, and number 57, Anton Hamilton. For Baylor, the captains, Jamie Theodore, Charlie Edgeworth, Jonathan King, and Jaden Arenas-Michell, backed up by the other seniors. Take you down to the field and the referee. Baylor has won the coin toss. They have elected to receive. Knox Catholic will kick off and defend the south goal.
Microphone good?
Testing, testing.
So Baylor debuting the, what do you think of the gray uniforms tonight?
It's anthracite, I believe.
Oh,
is the
sorry.
color. That's for Todd Agney. That's a uniform joke. Man, it's a nice look.
We were talking to assistant coach Costamadio a second ago, and he said
Please
he hadn't
welcome
seen those
your
uniforms in a while, right?
Baylor Red Raiders.
I think they wore them one other time this year.
The gray?
Yeah, it's a nice look.
It is a good alternative. Some alternative looks I can honestly say I'm not the biggest fan of. Some of the city uniforms in baseball are
those are
a little bit on the hideous.
Out there. When you have to describe why they look the way they do, that's probably not a good idea.
The Baylor wearing the gray, and again, staying on the aggressive path that they're usually on. Won the toss, and we'll receive.
Make it, take it.
If we can get the lead in the first possession, what they have done many, many times this season.
And you can rest assured, Jim, they will be aware of a potential onside kick after Ainsworth, I think, ran 3 of them last week and pulled off 2 of them, I think.
Tried 4 and were successful on 2. Yeah, you don't think they worked on that a little bit this week, do you? I think that might have been
awareness.
The
Yes.
special teams might have gotten a little bit of a workout. All right, so we're going to see Knox Catholic 5-3 for the year, 1-3 in the district. So there's a three-way tie in that second division. 3 teams are each 1-3. So they're trying to break that log jam tonight. Knox Catholic, right now, it looks like they would be the 5 seed. If they beat Baylor tonight, they would move up and could possibly be the 4 seed, like I said. 3-way tie in this final game in the regular season. Baylor is locked up, the district championship. Knox Catholic involved in a 3-way tie. 1-3 for the year in district play. Will be returned. Hello, running room. And Colby Barrett brings it up. Baylor with the possession, first down, 10 yards to go. Underway here at the Haywood Stadium. You think about those games early in the year when it's so brutally hot. Now you get to those games and you go,
It's a different world.
Yeah, I was going to say. First and 10 Red Raiders, and there's Briggs Cherry's going to take the snaps. I would say at least in the first half. We'll see how it goes. But again, you want to keep him healthy, no question about that. I think you want to keep Zero healthy as well, if I'm not mistaken.
No doubt about that one.
Briggs Cherry with time to throw on down number 1, up in the air, and how about that matchup to begin? Jamian Theodore with a catch on the very first play from scrimmage for the Red Raiders.
The Irish had him double covered, and Jamie and Theodore just out-jumped the 2 defenders, high-pointed it, and it's a huge gain on first down.
Catch it at the apex, and he brings it from the 29 to the 25-yard line. First down and 10 Red Raiders on play 1 of the game. And again, he out-jumped 2, not just 1, out-jumped 2 for the long gainer. Handoff, David Gabriel Georges with running room, splits the defense and gets inside the 20-yard line. In the red zone now, down to about the 15, 17-yard line. 8-yard gain on first down, 2nd and 2. David Gabriel Georges, see, that was under his average, so he needs to pick it up a little.
3.5 yards under. Yes, that was only 8.
Only 8 for a guy that's averaging 11.5 yards per carry. 2nd down, 2. Try it again. A little stutter step. That's enough for a Baylor first down, I believe. Yep. Inside the 15. Had to get across the 15 for the first down and brought it down to the 14 for the first down. So 1st and 10, Red Raiders, opening possession of the game, have brought it down from their own 29 down to the Knox Catholic 14-yard line. It's pretty compact.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, 17 on the defense. 5-yard penalty in the previous spot. Still first down.
Skyland Johnson, one of the linebackers who got a little anxious, I would say.
And Jim, that's just something you cannot do against this offense, especially at that location of the field.
Inside the red zone, he gives someone a 1st down and 5. Still pick up a first down. 1st down, 5. You can pick up a first and inside the 5-yard line. David Gabriel Georges is wide left. Look at all that running room. Throws it back, coming back and making the reception.
Hank D.
Hank DeGennaro, the sophomore wide receiver. I think Briggs Cherry could have run that one in, but
I do too.
Do you think that Eric Kimry said, hey, we don't need that tonight?
I just think Briggs had so many options, so many possibilities. By the time he decided, I got to run or throw, he was under a little bit of pressure, and Hank DeGennaro just waited in the far corner of the end zone, an easy pitch and catch.
Opening possession, opening score for the Red Raiders once again. Scoring, as you can see, nice to have our graphics back, right? 9:51 to play in the first quarter. And the Red Raiders take a 7-0 lead over the Fighting Irish.
Well, you expected on that first series for Baylor to take a shot. They did to Jamie and Theodore. A very methodical, effective first drive. Long time of possession for the Red Raiders. 9:51 left in the first quarter, and they light up the scoreboard for the first time tonight. Here's a look at this touchdown, and you can see so many options here. And to your point, Jim, right here, I thought Briggs could have run it in. And then the defense kind of collapses on him, and Hank DeGennaro makes a nice catch, better than I thought originally, at the far sideline, kept his feet in, and it's the first touchdown of the night for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, and Briggs Cherry saw the linebacker, Gavin Jones, coming at him. Yeah, he made the right move.
He did.
So you know what? I could take on the linebacker, but why would I want to? I could, but why? Nice opening drive for the Red Raiders, a phrase that we've used a few times this year, right? 71 yards, 4 plays. First and 10, second and 2, then first and 5, then touchdown. They want to keep it away from number 7. So there's a guy that looks like he knows what to do on the return game a little bit.
Yeah, that's Amari McKenzie, just a sophomore, and he's got some wheels too.
In case you missed a little bit of our pregame coverage, watch number 7, the wide receiver for Knox Catholic. Tyreek King, 5-star performer, already committed to Tennessee, and like we said, that matchup, we see Tyreek King, number 7, the wide receiver for Knox Catholic. And we'll see, does he get Jamie and Theodore, who is also obviously
after the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 1 on the receiving team. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. It'll be first down, Catholic.
And that negates that effort.
Yeah, and it's the same guy.
Boy, discipline is really...
He makes a nice return, right? Gives him a decent field position.
Yes.
And probably says something that maybe you and I would not say at the Thanksgiving
Not even
table.
on Halloween.
Well, maybe Halloween we would, but not at the Thanksgiving table. 9:42 to play first quarter. Let's go. 7-0 lead for the Red Raiders. I think it'll be interesting to see. One thing about Knox Catholic, when I look at their offensive line, the one thing that jumped out at me, they're not the biggest guys in the world, but left tackle, senior. Left guard, senior. Center, senior. Right guard, senior. Right tackle, senior.
The entire offensive line, all senior.
Now, again, they're going to give up some inches and some pounds to Baylor defensively, but you like those senior guys in those situations. See if they can protect their quarterback tonight, their young quarterback. Right up the gut, running between the tackles. Yeah.
2 shots up the gut. Fairly effective. 4 yards on first down. 4 yards on second down. This brings up a 3rd and 2.
So it'll be 3rd and 2. Probably should mention that Philip Shadowins is the head coach of the Fighting Irish. The head coach last year stepped down, and there were 2 co-head coaches, Steve Matthews and Coach Shad, as they call him in Knoxville. And then Coach Matthews left and went to Concord Christian, and they elevated Coach Shadowins, who's now the sole head coach of the program. So trying to go forward on 3rd down. And
well, they had him stopped initially, but that last surge will move the chains for the Fighting Irish.
That's what a good running back will do. Cruz Bunton, who's carried it for almost 500 yards so far this year. Not the biggest guy in the world, maybe the best first name we've seen in a while. Cruz is spelled Kruise. Cruz Bunton. Pretty good second ever that time. Needed 2 yards, got 3 up to the 36-yard line.
And again, you see the Irish strictly on the ground so far in this opening series.
Well, with the young quarterback making his second start, there's Tyreek King coming back to the football. You feel like you want to get him in the game, right? Let him hand it off a couple of times. Let him get the comfort level a little bit there. Then you go to your playmaker, number 7, on the first toss of the game, and he picks up about 9.
Just took advantage of the cushion that the Red Raider defense gave him.
Well, I have a hunch he's been seeing a lot of cushion all year long, right?
I think so, too.
No one wants to get blown by, right?
Right.
What do they call that? The Linda Ronstadt defense? Blew by you? Have you ever heard that? Yeah, it's pretty bad. Couple wide receivers far side. Now they switch off King. So King is wide left. He's at the top of your screen. Dropping back, putting it up in the air. Overthrown and incomplete.
Corey Faulkner came hard that time. Great pressure on Garrett King, the Fighting Irish quarterback.
So they take a shot on 2nd and 1, now come back with a 3rd and 1. So the 2nd and short is always a great gambling down, right? Tried to hit their playmaker long. Now they want to see if they can come back and pick up the first down on 3rd and short.
That time they moved Tyreek King away from Jamie and Theodore. He went to the top of your screen, which is where he is right now.
Up the middle. I thought that was a ball coming loose. That's a helmet's coming loose. That's the big center.
Anton Hamilton,
yeah,
the senior, 5'9", 265. He lost the helmet.
But he must have thrown a good block.
Yes, that moves the chains, and he will have to take a play off.
So this is what Knox Catholic wants, right? Little success, and like I said, they're pretty balanced in the way they attack. But they've got some yardage right up the gut, which doesn't happen very often.
Checking in for the Irish, Braxton Stinnett, the freshman, is now at center.
He's not nervous. Good snap. Far side, there's King with a little stiff arm. Jamie and Theodore. How many times are they going to do that in practice, you think, next year in Knoxville?
Nice open field tackle by Jamie and Theodore. That one could have gone for a lot more.
Well, that's, when guys have speed like that King does, it just makes you want to be sure that you square up and do everything fundamentally sound. You want to do anything crazy. Coaches say all the time, receivers are going to catch footballs. Make sure that they don't get around you. And receivers and coaches tell receivers, if you make one guy miss, you're going to get a great gain. 2nd down after about a 6-yard pickup, 5.5 on 1st down. So let's call it 2nd down, maybe a long 4. Handoff up the gut with some running room.
Man, another nice hole by the Fighting Irish offense that time. They have been very effective. They've done what they have wanted to do running the football so far. And again, the chains move. That's another 1st down, and the clock continues to run as well.
Yeah, if you're Knox Catholic and you limit some possessions, that's a win. This drive already for Knox Catholic, they've had the football almost exactly 4 minutes right now. So they took possession with 9:42. Now, as you can see, 5:49. So they've had the football 4 minutes and 6 seconds right now. But the key is, if you can limit some Baylor possessions. And Eric Kimry said this. He goes, remember last week? He said, we had 7 possessions. 7. He goes, we scored touchdowns on 5. I think end of the half 1 and punted 1 time. Only most of the time you get a minimum of 10 possessions in a game. Most of the time 10, 12, 13, somewhere in there. It goes, we had 7 possessions last week.
And that was part of the Ensworth game plan. Down for the Irish is number 71, Isiaga Yatara, the senior right tackle.
And we mentioned
but again, Jim, that's in kind of baseball, there's a book on every hitter. Well, the book on Baylor is, can you take possessions from them? Can you shorten the game, play it in a phone booth? Anything to keep that high-octane offense off the field.
Yeah, he's hobbling off.
That's a big loss for that offensive line. He is 6'5", 285, a senior at the right tackle position.
Knox Catholic will be on the road. They feel next week, and there's a couple, like I said, there's a three-way tie right now that they're involved in. So there's some different scenarios. We'll know by midnight tonight the entire bracket for all the playoffs.
I guess the most important thing, Baylor has reservations. Everybody else is in line, waiting in line.
Yeah, their reservations are sleeping in their own bed. Trying to go wide. There's some speed. Turning the corner, nicely done to double team, but caught from behind. Nice play by the Red Raiders, but some running room there.
And
Keaton Whaley finally tracked him down, but a good run.
A missed tackle early leads to another first down for the Fighting Irish.
So remember, they had the nice kickoff return that was negated by a penalty. So Knox Catholic begins on their own 25-yard line. This will be the 9th play of this drive. So they're doing exactly what they want to do. And again, mixing things up pretty well. 1st and 10 on the Baylor 33. And it hasn't been all Tyreek King. Running back has done well. Quarterback has been on mark. How about that? Not again. There's Cruz button that time, and he's met in the backfield right
Colby Barrett
at the mesh point.
They brought in Ethan Hill for the Irish from his fullback spot just to shore up the blocking, but boy, Baylor was up to the challenge that time.
I think things were getting a little too comfortable, and Baylor said, you know what, we'll run blitz a little bit.
Heat.
3-yard loss on that first down play. So now if you're Knox Catholic, you're off schedule, right? You're in 2nd and 13. They send King out wide on the far side, and Jenkins is there as well as the receiver. Up in the air. Ooh, that was almost pick six territory.
That was some bad footwork by the quarterback and maybe a rush throw high, way too high for Tyreek King. And nice defense that time by Baylor. So again, Jim, off schedule, yes, 3rd and 13 is way off schedule.
3rd and 13 at the Baylor 36-yard line. Red Raiders 1 possession, 1 score. Baylor won the toss, opted to take the football, and scored on that first possession.
They're going to move Tyreek King now to the bottom of your screen.
Well,
and he's going to be squared up with number 1, Jamie and Theodore.
Let's see if the sophomore quarterback, Garrett King, can get him the football. Being rushed. Got him by the ankle. Keeps it alive, puts it up in the air. That's what you don't do. Picked off, Red Raiders, Colby Barrett. With a posse. Needs a block. And got it.
Wow.
Flush from the pocket. He puts up a duck, and there is Colby Barrett, the opportunist here on Halloween.
Be interesting to see this on replay because whatever Garrett King thought was there wasn't.
Well, he was running for his life and then tried to square up, and
couldn't square up.
He didn't have any mustard on the football trying to hit that receiver, and you put a ball up in the air like that, it's going to be returned.
And Colby Barrett was, you want to say
sideline warning on the offense. Touchdown stands.
You want to say he jumped the route, but really he was just in great position. When we say squared up, that means the quarterback needs to square his hips and shoulders to where he wants to throw the football. Unable to completely do that. It hung, it was picked, and taken for 6.
See, that's the difference in my opinion. You saw a young quarterback, a guy that's making his second start at the quarterback spot. When he gets older and a little bit football wiser,
throw that football away.
He would. Oh, high snap.
And live to fight another day.
And I would say for Knox Catholic, you don't have to force things. And that's time he tried to force something. He was flush from the pocket. He was rolling out far side.
Well, situation, Jim, 3rd and long. Okay. You don't pick up the first down. You have a chance to punt and pin Baylor deep. Instead, we see this. In trouble, rolls to his left, and just gets nothing on the football. And there's Colby Barrett with a pick. Now watch how quickly Baylor's defense goes into offense. And you said a convoy. That's entirely too easy. He just stays on his feet, and jogs into the end zone.
I'm calling that 81 yards on the return. 81 yards. Colby Barrett, the pick six for 81. And again, when your defense scores, the analytics will tell you got a darn good chance of coming up with a win.
And what that does to the Fighting Irish offense, all that work is basically flushed, and you got to start all over. Not much time, 3:55 left in the first quarter, but you're down 2 scores now, and this is what happens when you play Baylor.
Yeah, it could come rushing in a hurry sometimes, and sometimes in bunches. So again, we credited the quarterback, Garrett King, for doing a lot of things well. It just takes one, right?
One, yeah.
It just takes one bad decision, and bam.
When he looks back at that on tape, they will say a sack right there is not a bad thing.
Or just throw it out of bounds. Or don't throw it at all, maybe, or just run out of bounds.
Well, he jumped in the air to throw it, and that's when the wheels came off.
Colby Barrett will remember senior day, right?
Absolutely.
I think he might have 5 picks so far this year for the Mississippi State commit. 5 picks. That's pretty large. Sweep in the near side with King, and
boy, great balance there.
Yeah, I was going to say, almost got that tackle for about a 3-yard loss.
And almost snuck out of there and cut it upfield. Boy, they miss Isiaga Yatara at that right tackle spot.
Yeah, that would have been the perfect play because he would have set the edge on that at the right tackle position on that sweep.
They have to go to Jax Nichols, the sophomore. He's 6'4", 220.
But you're right, Knox Catholic did so many good things on that opening drive. Ooh, that's up in the air as well.
Had a man, but that football floated on him there, I think. And again, pressure from the Baylor defense. He was not comfortable throwing that football.
Well, there's pressure once again. It almost looked like he threw off the back foot. And again, you can't do that. Some cornerbacks, some safeties you can throw against, and you can put a duck up in the air. But these guys, even if you get beat sometimes, their recovery speed is so good. You saw Jamie and Theodore on that particular play, able to adjust, get to the receiver.
Well, this time they have a trip bunch formation at the top of the screen.
Pressure, thrown underneath. But not enough for the first down as Gibbs made the reception. Braylon Gibbs, a sophomore wide receiver. I'd like to see him in a couple of years. 6'3", 170.
They created a nice little lane
Sure
to
did.
throw to there, but again, Baylor defensively closed fast and hard on that one.
Needed 10, got 8, fourth down and 2. And the Irish will be forced to kick it away. This is Mark Bartholomew, the punter. He was the starting quarterback, and then they made the change last week. Baylor call timeout.
They were trying, maybe lining up what looked like a version of the tush push.
Yeah.
And the Red Raiders
That's a good timeout.
wisely hit that timeout.
But that's one of those, if you're the Irish, you got to run that play quickly. You can't give Baylor time to call the timeout.
They might have been trying to draw Baylor off sides.
Could have been. Either way. That's one of those you might run up there, see if you can get them to jump.
I'm with you, though. If you're going to do that, you need.
If you're going to snap it, you better snap
it quickly.
I agree with you. I think that was more of a fake than anything else. Yeah.
Let's see if we can draw some contact.
Yeah. It was more window dressing, I think. But you force Baylor to burn a timeout. Still 4th and 2. Decent kick. Fair catch made around the 32-yard line. So the Red Raiders with their second offensive possession of the day. So one possession on offense for Baylor, a touchdown. 2 possessions for Knox Catholic, 1 a pick six, and now a punt. Red Raiders take over with 2:11 to play in the first quarter, leading at 14-0. It was Colby Barrett with the 81-yard pick six on the last possession. So 2:11 to play in quarter number 1.
You have Jamie and Theodore and Hank DeGennaro at the bottom of your screen.
Starting at the 32-yard line is Briggs Cherry. Cherry with time. Over the middle, and that pass is complete. He's got 1 already tonight.
And how about that? They waited for Gennaro to clear and come all the way across the field. It's an easy throw by Briggs Cherry and huge chunk after the catch. And the Red Raiders are in business. Tempo.
Again, one big play on first down, last possession, first possession of the game. Here they start at the 32-yard line. They go from 32 to 19 in one play. 1st and 10. Hank DeGennaro's had a night already, right?
Yes.
We played 10 minutes. Cherry escapes once. See, and that's a smart play from a veteran quarterback. Trying to find DeGennaro again, coming back to the ball, put it in a spot only his guy was going to get it.
Be aggressive throwing to a conservative target.
2nd down and 10.
Penalty down here.
Might be a holding call because Cherry was flush from the pocket, under duress a little bit.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Head coach, the defense. It's a 15-yard penalty to be enforced half the distance to the goal. Results in a first down.
Whatever was said was not appreciated. I don't know that I've seen that one in a long time.
Wow. That's always tough for the coach to face the team, in my opinion. Saying, oh yeah, I just gave him 15 yards. Starting around the 9, trying to go wide. Little stutter step there. Boy, he's hit a bunch.
Gang tackled that time.
Yeah, that's the definition of a gang tackle right there. He stutter stepped a couple of times. No one bought the fake. Pretty good tackling that time by Knox Catholic. And David Gabriel Georges with a no gain on that first down play. 2nd and goal, let's say 2nd and goal from the 9-yard line. Send the tight end in motion to the far side. He's going to lead the block that time. David Gabriel Georges, negative yards.
Nice open field tackle that time from his bandit position. That's George Mancini, the senior, 6'1", 180.
Good pursuit. And a 2-yard loss. So it's 3rd down and goal from the 11. As you can see on the graphics, which we relied on so much,
Irish fighting for their lives here defensively, and so far on this possession, they've been up to the challenge.
they've guessed right and tackled well. It's a good combination. Maybe the final play of the first quarter. Braxton Rain moves in motion once again. Cherry rolls out near side. Throws it underneath. Are they giving it to him or not?
Nope, they're gonna rule Hank DeGennaro out at what looks like to be the 3-yard line.
So that means on a goal-to-goal situation, it'll be 4th down and goal from the 3.
Baylor is going to keep the offense on the field.
Yeah, I mean, what else are you going to do? You could go for the The 3 points or the 3 yards? They're going for the 3 yards. You got plenty of options right here as well. Fake in the pitch. Cherry.
Look
Wow,
at this.
big 99 with the catch.
They go to Jaden Arenas-Michell. Rumble, big man rumble.
That's called senior day. That's what that is. You're not going to do that very many times, but on senior day, you know what? It works.
Well, they obviously worked on it in practice, and 99 has got some hands.
Might have to pump that football back up, though, right? 21 points in the first quarter, so Baylor scores with 4 seconds to play in the quarter to make it 21-0. Dare I say, touchdown catch number 1 for Arenas-Michell.
And let's be honest, Jim, the key play in that drive, the unsportsmanlike call on the Fighting Irish defensive coordinator.
After the play was over. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. That's a 15-yard penalty being forced on the kickoff.
So Baylor counters with their unsportsmanlike penalty, which will change field position drastically, as we'll see on the kickoff.
Arenas-Michell with the touchdown catch of 3 yards. Extra point for the Red Raiders is good to make it 21-0. When you've had 2 possessions and you've scored 21 points, that's pretty good efficiency.
Night.
Yeah, that's pretty good efficiency right there.
Let's take a look at this. 4th and 3. Watch the top of your screen. Big number 99. Fakes the block, kind of gets a chip and just parks it in the back of the end zone, and Briggs Cherry nails it. Number 99. Happy with that one.
But it was really set up when he faked the pitch. Then you had everyone just rolling to that way, maybe just a half step.
They also had Braxton Rain kind of crossing just inside the end zone, so that drew some attention too. And number 99 just there waiting for the football.
You think he just kind of blended in with the other receivers out there?
I don't know if he can. I don't know if 99 can blend in.
You're saying blend in is not as in.
He just posted up and waited for the football.
But again, Cherry, with the fake pitch, and I think that just froze the defense for just a second. The big man was not to be denied.
Still happy.
Now, I know my man Terrell Owens is in town, and Terrell doesn't feel threatened right now as far as his receiving prowess. But
it was effective.
I would say probably. I don't know this for a fact. He's been targeted 1 time this year, right? And is 1 for 1.
So far, so good. So they're going to kick from the 25.
Because of the penalty?
Yes. And, boy, not a good decision that time by the Irish to let that ball bounce.
Yeah. First quarter comes to an end. Yeah, if that ball bounces.
That just gave the defense plenty of time to stay in their lanes and yet still pursue the football.
So we'll begin the second quarter.
Please turn your attention
with
to
a
the field,
21-0 lead.
Where tonight we are honoring team members and coaches from the 2025 TSSAA Division II AA State Championship Baylor Wrestling Team. Coach Rex Kendall's team finished the 2025 season undefeated with an overall record of 10-0 in dual meets, including wins in the Liberty Classic and the Prep Slam. The regular season also included a dramatic home dual victory against rival McCallie. The 2025 team went on to win the TSSAA state title in both the dual and the individual championships, as well as an 8th place finish at National Preps, boasting 4 National Prep All-Americans. Join me again in congratulating your 2025 wrestling traditional and dual state champions.
We should also mention the areas of state championships. Baylor girls soccer team, 3-0 win over Knox Webb last night. Won their 12th, a record 12th state soccer championship. Did that last night at Finley Stadium. So the wrestling team with their win, one of the winter sports of quote-unquote last year, and the Baylor girls soccer team shutting out Knox Webb, winning that state championship last night. So that championship trophy is still warm. Beginning at the 31-yard line. Little running room. Success early between the tackles, and I don't know if that's going to continue for the Fighting Irish. Yeah.
Back to the methodical game plan.
Yeah.
Don't mean methodical in a bad way.
No, that's just the game plan. We talked about limiting possessions in some way, shape, or form, and they had success running between the tackles until the pick six in that first quarter. Kind of like the gray uniforms, or whatever.
They're growing on you?
Whatever color you said they were. Garrett King avoids the rush one time, throws it on the run.
King in trouble that time, but Jim, the difference is on that one, he was determined to throw that football out of bounds and out of danger. And this brings up another, we talked earlier about being on schedule and off schedule, 3rd and 9, 3rd and long, off schedule. Number 7, Tyreek King at the top of your screen. Again, in that triple bunch formation they've used a couple of times tonight.
Sometimes defenders can get lost when the receivers are bunched together. Quarterback run. Looking for running room. Can't find enough for a first down. Brought down around the 35-yard line. That's a good 5-6 yards short.
Thought he saw more there than in reality was there, partly because the Baylor defense closed hard on that the minute he broke the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he had some running room there for a while, but as you mentioned, closed that gap in a hurry and tackled him a good 5 yards away from first down territory.
And what the Irish didn't want was a 3-and-out, down 3 scores, but that's exactly what happened.
Fair catch call for me. How about that athletic move?
Jamie and Theodore.
Jamie and Theodore. That might be the most athletic move of the night.
You thought maybe that was dangerous, but with number 1, his hands are so good, he reeled that in, made it look easy.
Yeah, he's done that in his receiver role a few times this year. 10:32 to play until halftime.
The catch on the near sideline last week in the tightest coverage you can imagine, folks. Just incredible.
Yeah, some of the guys we get to see, like Eric Spillman, the linebacker for Tennessee, who had he had 15 tackles last week. And I said, Craig and I saw him play for Lipscomb last year. He was playing in high school last year and led Tennessee in tackles. We get to see some stellar talent. Guys that you can follow in their college careers really put up some numbers.
That's a nice play. They go empty backfield. David Gabriel Georges runs a fantastic route, push the defender to continue to give him cushion, and it ends up an easy pitch and catch, and they're going to move the chains. That play, if you're going to play it like that, is almost unstoppable. I don't know why you wouldn't play it like that, because if you come up and press 0 and he gets by you, the music will start soon afterwards.
Yeah, he's been in the pattern a couple of times tonight. A couple of times as a wide receiver, slot receiver role. A couple of times just coming out of the backfield. The more traditional route for number 0. Picks up about 6-7 yards on first down. Brings it up to the 44. Well, it'll be second down about 3, so gain of 7 on first down. 2nd and 3. Clock running as you see with 9.5 minutes to play in the first half. Baylor with a pick 6 tonight, an 81-yard pick 6 by Colby Barrett. Shuffle pass up the middle. All right, we've seen 2 or 3 things tonight we haven't seen a lot of. So how much is Eric Kimmery saying, okay, guys, you're scouting us for the playoffs?
You got to cook it up a little bit, but you saved that good recipe for the postseason.
Listen, you better work on my running back being able to catch the football and putting him in the pattern. You better get ready for that shuffle pass every so often.
That was Colby Barrett.
For no gain, I might say. So a 2nd and 3 becomes a 3rd and 3. That shuffle pass or Utah pass right up the middle. Faking this time. Throw it between to the tight end. How about that little hurdle right there?
Braxton Rain, just outstanding.
Sophomore tight end who showed a little athletic ability.
And that little mix of motion and pattern open, boy, really froze everybody on the defense, and that gave Briggs Cherry time to wait for 18 to get open, and he dealt a strike.
Those are the kind of plays that shouldn't go unnoticed. Just carrying out the total play like that. That little fake, the fake that he did a moment ago.
Encroachment, 45 on the defense.
And
5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains first down.
Somewhat of a hard count. An easy 5 on first down.
So 1st and 5 at the 31-yard line. 21-0 lead for the Red Raiders, as you see. Cherry with time once again. Look at that.
Wow.
That is too easy.
It is too easy.
Jamie and Theodore for 31, and he saw his wide receiver break open, and Briggs Cherry goes, I'll throw up this quail. You just come and get it on your end.
Took a little bit off. Jamie and Theodore absolutely wide open.
You think someone blew a coverage?
It sure looked that way.
Score at the 8:22 mark of the second quarter. Briggs Cherry with his 3rd touchdown toss of the night. So DeGennaro's caught 1. Arenas-Michell has caught 1. And now back to your favorite, right?
Number 1. And folks, he took something off that pass because he knew his guy was so wide open. He just kind of, you called it a quail. He kind of floated that thing and said, I'm going to hang it up here. I know number 1's going to reel it in. He threw him open and lit up the scoreboard one more time. 28-0. This will be fun to watch on replay. Watch how much time he has, and watch how he hangs the ball, just flicked it. And look how wide open Jamie and Theodore is. Yeah, that's a busted coverage for sure.
All by his lonesome in the end zone for Jamie and Theodore. That's a pretty good place to be. So Theodore's caught 1, a 31-yarder. Arenas-Michell has caught a 3-yard touchdown pass. And Hank DeGennaro with a 9-yard touchdown reception. 3 more TDs by Briggs Cherry, and Craig's going to kick me, but Briggs Cherry may go through this entire season.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Without throwing an interception. Oh, he did it. Well, if it goes, did it go out of bounds?
Oh, look at that.
It hit the cone. It hit the cone.
How about that for a kick? How about that for, that's amazing.
Why isn't that Baylor's ball? He didn't touch it. Oh,
They
no.
signaled touchback. I guess when it hit the cone, that would be a question for head referee Tony Young.
No, I think cone is end zone. Right?
Right.
Because if you break the plane,
So if
that,
you hit it,
yes,
you hit it.
Yes.
Again, though, a spectacular.
I was going to say.
What an effort on special teams.
That's about as good as you can
I
get.
mean, if you do that 10 times, that hits the cone maybe once.
Yeah.
I thought they were actually ready to throw a penalty for kicking it out of bounds.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Senior night.
Whew.
It works.
And Halloween.
Yes. They made a change. They go to Bartholomew at quarterback, and he hooks up with Matthew Rogers, the sophomore.
Well,
and that's an easy pitch and catch for a first down, Jim.
Bartholomew is the more seasoned quarterback. He's the junior. Garrett King, who started last week and started tonight, he's the younger guy. So he's only made 2 starts. They go back to Bartholomew. You don't want to just shatter someone, a young quarterback that you believe in now. They really believe he's the future.
But, Jim, you cannot turn the ball over the way he has done, and some of that's offensive line miscues, but in any case.
And losing a key member of the offensive line. Remember that as well. Almost again.
Keaton Whaley. Left an impression on that play, shall we say.
So it'll be second down.
And again, Jim, I'm surprised they haven't forced the ball more to Tyreek King, number 7. He's at the bottom of the screen here.
Number 7, as we said, the 5-star receiver who's committed to Tennessee.
They go to him that time, but
was King mad at himself or mad at quarterback?
I think he's mad at himself. He kind of short-armed that just a little bit.
Well, I think he saw the cornerback hard charging toward the ball and said, "Ugh." I think he wanted that one back as soon as he threw it.
And all of a sudden, Jim, it is 3rd and 7 now for the Irish.
3rd and 7, 28-0. Offense has scored 21. Defense has scored 1 touchdown so far tonight. An 81-yard pick 6 by Colby Barrett is the defensive score for the Red Raiders. 2 receivers on the bottom side. Bartholomew throws it long. Oh, about that. Over the shoulder, and Tyreek King.
How about that? And
he makes that look easy.
Man, you thought that was on a line. It was almost not enough air under it. Jamie and Theodore tried to deflect it with his left hand. He missed. Tyreek King makes first touchdown of the night for the Irish. So Mac Bartholomew. We wondered when they would target Tyreek King. They've done it.
Well, he kind of thought that he's got to be more involved.
Right.
He's the best player they got, right?
Absolutely. Boy, well thrown football. King
Sure
catches
was.
that thing almost in stride.
Yeah,
and again, Jamie in just a step off position, tried to get it with his left hand, and it results in an Irish touchdown.
Like I said, it's fun to see those two go back. Ultra talented. To see those two go back and forth, Jamie and Theodore, Tyreek King. Wow. There's some talent. There's a bunch of stars. Each got their 5 stars,
That's
right?
a 10-star. Does that make it a 10-star,
Yeah.
10-star play? So the Irish get on the board.
And that's what you knew could happen. 77-yard touchdown pass from the 23 on a 3rd and 7.
And again, they had single coverage. They put Jamie and Theodore in single coverage there. And really a well-thrown football by
Sure
Mac
was.
Bartholomew.
Sure
They list him at 6'1", 195. He looks bigger, frankly.
That's 80 yards. Minute 25. 3 plays. 77-yarder from Bartholomew to Tyreek King. And Knox Catholic on the board. Oh, guess what? Trying to squibber. I don't know if I call that an onside. A little momentum on the return across the 40 up to about the 42-yard line.
And what happens is Baylor ends up turning that into fantastic field position. Keaton Whaley. And wow, you give that offense 1st and 10 at the 40.
Yeah. 4th possession of the night offensively for the Red Raiders. Like Eric Kimry said, only 7 possessions last week. 7 possessions and 5 touchdowns. Rather efficient. Last week, 7 possessions, 5 touchdowns. 1 ended at the end of the half and 1 on a punt.
Boy, they go to Jack Ferguson now.
That's your
running
man.
back, Action Jack.
Hard-nosed running back.
Braxton Rain leading the way with a solid block. It goes for
a
couple on first down. And the clock continues to run.
Knox Catholic feeling like, just guessing, that they're going to make a long trip to Memphis next week in round 1 of the playoffs. Cherry, yeah, he's going to slide down, and yeah, look at that. Hey, I'm sliding down. I gave myself up, and I still took a hit from the linebacker, but no flag.
Again, a solid decision. Don't force the football. Take what little the defense gave you that time. And
well, I don't think tonight, I don't think a sliding Briggs Cherry is about tonight. I think it's about 2 weeks,
2 weeks
from tonight.
from now. All right, 3rd down and 7.
So DeGennaro moves in motion. Cherry with time. Good coverage that time. Did he make the catch? Moving into. Nice. He's had a good night.
He really
Number
has.
13 with a touchdown reception tonight. That, like I said, looked like the coverage was pretty darn good.
Tight coverage.
Hank DeGennaro makes the catch. Not an easy catch. Makes the catch, and the drive stays alive.
And I mean, the Irish defender was all over
Sure
number
was.
13.
Moving the tight end from left side to right side. Sidesteps one, unloads, near sideline on the out.
Hank D again.
Whoa.
How about that? The sophomore, Hank DeGennaro, have a night, 13.
At least have a half.
Okay.
Well, with a touchdown reception, it's already been a pretty productive game, I would say. To the 18-yard line. Take a little bit of a pop.
Jack Ferguson running hard and some nice space created by that offensive line. He stays, yeah, they rule him inbounds. That's 8 yards on first down. Squared up just at the 10-yard line.
Second and 2. 2 receivers left. Ferguson, the running back, and again, they move the tight end. Ferguson gets the call up the middle, takes a bump, dives forward.
And that's going to move the sticks.
I was going to say, now you're going to get in that first and goal situation.
Love Braxton Rain in motion.
Yes.
That quickly turns into another solid blocker for that offensive line.
Well, Braxton Rain is that tight end that does give you that moment.
Everything.
He can block, so he's an offensive lineman. He can catch.
And just a sophomore.
So down to the 7 where it's first and goal. Pulls it back. Cherry with an opening. How about that? Gives it, takes it away, and Brooks Johnson, the free safety, couldn't catch up. Brooks Cherry said, well, I've thrown for 3. Come on. I might as well run for 1. 7 yards to seal the deal, finishing off that run for the Red Raiders, and point number 34 of the night.
And again, it shouldn't be that easy.
Trying to make it 35-7 with 2:32 to play in the first half. Red Raiders have not been stopped offensively so far tonight. 4 possessions in the first half for the offense. 4 touchdowns, and the defense has one as well. Watch Briggs Cherry give it, take it away, and waltz into the end zone.
All right, here we go. It's the number 3 show. Fakes inside to Jack Ferguson, and then a stutter right there, and he just tightropes, waltzes into the end zone.
He's kind of a bigger guy than he really looks sometimes. I mean, again, when you see a 6'4" guy standing next to a 6'3" guy, it doesn't seem like that much of a difference, right? When he stands next to you or me, well, especially me.
Big difference.
No question. But he's a solid guy.
And again, a great decision.
Louisville's got a winner, right?
Great decision that time, yes. And just perfect for their offense. Again, on the high school level, it's rare to see a quarterback that can change speeds on touchdown passes. Throws a very catchable football, but he can air it out if you need to have, a long out pattern across the field.
Yeah, he can zing it. There's no question about that. We saw him use that touch on that long touchdown pass in the end zone where he had Jamie and Theodore wide open. That is the definition of changing speeds when you're a quarterback. Will be returned from about the 9-yard line. More running room, and finally out of bounds at the 41, but you might have heard some of those oohs and ahs, and that's because the penalty flag went down.
So that's Matthew Rogers, sophomore. It seems like Knox Catholic is loaded with guys about 5'10", 170, 180 that can move.
I noticed that as well.
Holding. Number 25 on the return team. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Be first down, Catholic.
That is a killer.
I was going to say, last week it seemed like we had a ton of penalties. We haven't had as many tonight, but for Knox Catholic, they have been killers, as you mentioned. Big plays, especially on special teams, right? They've had a couple of penalties on special teams that have really made a difference.
Yes, that negates all your field position. Now you're back at what looks like the 17, 18-yard line.
With 2:23 to play in the first half. See how aggressive Knox Catholic is, and let's see how aggressive Baylor is. Keeping it on the ground.
Really impressed with Cruz Bunton. And a freshman. 5'5", 180.
I think that was Xavier Wade making the tackle, offensive lineman. Moving on the defensive side, making a nice stop right there for the Red Raiders.
I mean, that's 7 yards on first down.
Yeah, from the 18 to the 25.
And Jim, priority number 1 for the Irish, just hold on to the football, and you need to burn this last 150 of the first half.
Yeah, when I said let's see how aggressive these teams are, will Baylor call timeouts if they can? Look at that time. Batted and almost picked off.
Fantastic effort.
Keaton Whaley.
By Keaton Whaley. We've called his name a bunch tonight.
Look at that. I think he thinks he should have caught that ball, right?
Yes, he certainly did. Irish got away with a hold there on the edge as well. All of a sudden, 3rd and 3, and the clock has stopped.
Clock stopped on the incomplete pass. So 1:37 to play in the first half. I think Baylor, if I'm not mistaken, with 2 timeouts remaining, they used 1 on that special teams play.
Boy, there you go.
Hit.
He gets loose.
Trying to reverse the field. No.
We got a flag, though. Maybe a face mask.
Yeah, I saw that, too. When you see that neck kind of turn a little bit.
Like that. Yep, there. And the Irish seem to be applauding.
Or horse collar, maybe.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 9 on the defense. It's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run.
That's on
Results in a first down.
That's on the junior linebacker Corey Faulkner. That is biggest penalty by the Baylor defense here in the first half. That extends the drive and moves it way forward, a 15-yarder.
So now Knox Catholic feeling like, at least a little bit more, that they can just hold on to the football for the last minute 20 of the half. One thing Knox Catholic does not want is Baylor offensively to touch the football again. Nice throw and catch, far sideline. Now you're in Red Raider territory, and if you're the Irish,
Jamie and Theodore gave some cushion. Tyreek King took advantage of it.
yeah, sometimes with some receivers, if you're Jamie and Theodore, you go, I can give ground because I got recovery speed, right? Tougher to do against those guys that are just about as fast as you are.
Well, in this situation, you just don't want to give up anything easy and let somebody get behind you with 1 minute and 8 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah, that's when you tell your defensive backs, don't let anyone.
Now they're matched up at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, don't get in the rearview mirror. And again, if you got time, flush from the pocket. Bartholomew throws it far side.
Okay, that was Tyreek King came across the entire field.
I was going to say, he went that 53 yards, right?
Yes.
He went from left side to right side.
He went from left side to right side and got open.
Near sideline to far sideline.
That's football speed.
Yes, it is. But again, but the whole key was giving Bartholomew enough time to let King get all that.
Waited for the window to open.
Cover all that real estate. If your offensive line does that, your quarterback all of a sudden becomes a lot more effective down to the 20-yard line.
Irish have a chance to get some points on the board here.
Which would be a big momentum swing. He came down with that football, didn't he? Braylon Gibbs, a sophomore, with a 20-yard touchdown reception. That was impressive.
Mac Bartholomew has pushed all the right buttons at quarterback for the Irish.
Yeah, he lost the starter job. It looks like to me he's won it right back.
And Braylon Gibbs, one of those receivers, seems like we see every week, 6'3", 170, just a sophomore, which means he's going to get bigger and better.
So the Irish score with 54 seconds to play in the first half on an 82-yard drive. And that face mask penalty, that was one of the keys.
That opened the door,
really,
and we got a deep pass to Tyreek King, which set the table, and they ended up closing in the end zone. Yeah, Jim, Mac Bartholomew, the junior, said, I think I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity right now, and he's done just that for the Irish.
He's fighting for the job. It's been effective so far tonight, no question.
Gotten away from pressure.
Yes. Like we said, that senior offensive line for Knox Catholic, and again, they're not the biggest line we've seen, but they are the most experienced line we've seen. Starting all seniors, lost one player because of injury, but they started out the game running between the tackles and had success doing so.
It's been hard for Baylor to get consistent pressure on the quarterback.
Should mention Red Raiders without Osenda tonight, and also Caden Dewey. Those two players a little bit banged up, and Eric Kimry wants to make sure they are 100% healthy. The Red Raiders playoff run will begin 2 weeks from tonight right here at home. Playoffs begin next week, and so obviously the Red Raiders' opponent, we have to get our brackets out. Well, I got mine, but there's some that are written in pencil, put it that way. Irish looking for their 14th point of the night, and the kick is good. So 35-14. You
you talked about, Jim, before the game started, what to play for. Situations like this, 54 seconds left in the half. Can you tightrope your offense, the 2-minute drill, in 54 seconds and get some points on the board here?
Yeah, I think the number is correct. 2 timeouts remaining for Baylor. Knox Catholic has all 3 of theirs, although I don't see why they would use them right now. But things have been known to change. I asked Coach Kimry today, I said, what are you concerned about? This game really doesn't mean a lot as Baylor has already wrapped up the district championship. He said, you mentioned, Coach Kimry mentioned undefeated season. He goes, that's really not on our
wish list.
On our wish list, although if you ask the players, I have a hunch that they would make note. He goes, I'm worried about Halloween. He goes, my son is out there shooting baskets in a Scooby-Doo costume right now. He goes, so, and these players know that they're going to have some fun after the game, but you got to take care of business. Theodore bobbles it, brings it back to the 10. 25, 35, about the 45.
Folks, that was a great kick. It was awkward, and it was a fantastic return by Jamie and Theodore.
So I was talking to Coach Rusty Wright at UTC about kickoffs. He said, what we want to do is always put it between the hash marks and the numbers. Hash marks and numbers. He goes, if we put it there, then we can defend those.
Holding. Number 18 on the return. 10-yard penalty for the spotted foul. First down.
Boy, and what makes that penalty so deadly is just what referee Tony Young said. From the spot of the foul.
Not the end of the run, which was about the 44-yard line.
So they're going to walk this way back to the 11-yard line.
So really, that's a 33-yard penalty.
And just changes
everything.
Play calling, and now you have 43 seconds left, and you've got to go 90 yards.
Yeah, you say, well, if we pop one, then we'll get the offense cranked up. David Gabriel George is still in there, as is Briggs Cherry. Quarterback, running back combination. A little bit of a delay. How about that? Some running room. When
David is down, holding his right leg.
After the play was over, personal foul. Defense, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Something happened that shouldn't at the end of that play. David Gabriel George off the field.
So all the way to the 43-yard line.
Timeout. Baylor. It's their first
timeout. They're saying that's their first timeout. Actually, it's
the
their
second. Because remember on that, when they were going for it on 4th down, and then they faked like they were going to run an offensive
they
play.
burned that one.
Baylor called a timeout to make sure that they could regroup and were ready for and didn't jump offside. That's the best sign I've seen in a long time.
Number 0 walking.
Yeah, fine. Looked like he's fine anyway. Getting back in the huddle. Yeah, that's the. You talk about that could take the air out of the crowd right there.
That's
and out of all those guys on the sideline.
That's the key. That is a key piece to this puzzle, and that's the understatement of the year. But he's back in there.
That's a great sign. It really, really is. And walking fine. But DGG, enjoy your last couple carries because I have a hunch you ain't You could put your costume on, I think, at halftime. That's just me. Cherry to throw.
Ooh, pressure that time.
And you know what? He said, I'm not going to take a hit.
And let's credit Anton Hamilton.
For sure.
He's played offensive line and defensive line. 5'9", 265, came in there with a force, and a big loss for the Red Raider offense with the sack.
And I don't think they'll take another.
They're going to put the curtains on the first half here.
I'll say this again. I think Eric Kimry said to Briggs Cherry, we don't need you, we don't need you to be a hero tonight.
Don't be a hero.
Be a hero in 2 weeks, and in 3 weeks, and maybe in 4 weeks. We don't need you to be a hero. Throw it out of bounds. Don't take a lot of contact. Slide if you have to. So Baylor with a 35-14 lead at halftime. 35-14. That's the only possession Baylor has not scored on. Here's how it unfolded.
All right, Briggs Cherry goes to work. Hank DeGennaro. This caps off a 4-play, 71-yard drive. That's the first touchdown of the day. 7-0, and we are not nearly done. Defense gets some time to shine. The pressure, the pass, and Colby Barrett skies to reel this one in. He is just going to tuck it and run. Down the far sideline, he's going to trot in with a touchdown. Just like that, the Red Raiders post a 14-0 lead, and we are not done. Briggs Cherry will go back to work, and again, a defensive player gets to have some fun. Jaden Arenas-Michell from D lineman to tight end to touchdown. 99 reels that in. That's on fourth down to make it 21-0. And then prettiest pass of the night, Briggs Cherry. A floater to Jamie and Theodore, absolutely wide open. Boy, that lit everything up. That makes it 28-0. And then Briggs Cherry's going to go solo here. Strut the cut and the touchdown. And it's 35-14 at the half.
So the defense scores 1. Cherry throws for 3 and rushes for 1. So those are your 5 touchdowns in the first half. Baylor with a convincing lead at halftime, leading Knox Catholic in this final game of the regular season, although the Fighting Irish have shown some heart. There's no question about that. 35-14 the score at halftime. Baylor on top at the intermission. Let's sit back and enjoy halftime. So 24 minutes remaining in the regular season for the Red Raiders. Trying to go unbeaten for the season. Leading at 35-14 at halftime. Now for Knox Catholic, they are involved in a three-way tie. MBA, Knox Catholic, and CPA are each 1-3. The district standings, Baylor's already won it, 4-0. Ensworth has already nailed down second place at 3-1. Right now, McCauley is third. Then those other three teams, Montgomery Bell Academy, Knox Catholic, and CPA, are all tied at 1-3. CPA has McCauley tonight. MBA has Ensworth tonight. And Knox Catholic has Baylor tonight. So you think the bottom three teams are playing the top three teams tonight. So I don't know if a whole lot's going to change. So whatever the tiebreakers are, they probably will go into effect, and the TSSAA will be working things out, and those brackets will be out, I would say, in the next 4, 5, 6 hours or so. Get both sides of the brackets. Playoffs will begin next week. Baylor with a first-round bye. Baylor will be back in action at home 2 weeks from tonight for sure. If they win 2 weeks from tonight, they'll be in action 3 weeks from tonight as well. If they win that game, they'll be in action 4 weeks from tonight down the road at Finley Stadium. But still, business to be taken care of with a 35-14 lead and about to get this third quarter underway. See how much the starters play in the second half. I just would feel good if David Gabriel Georges carries it one time in the second half, although he looked good at the end of the first half.
I mean, Jim, it's a 3-possession game here. I think the key for Baylor is to get a 3-and-out on this opening drive of the Fighting Irish, get some points on the board, and then see what adjustments they can make.
Last 4 minutes, first 4 minutes, right?
There you go.
That 8-minute gap coaches always talk about. Last 4 minutes of the first half, first 4 minutes of the second half. See if you can set the tone.
And the Irish so far, I mean, they score in the final 3 minutes of the first half, and they're going to get a chance to add to that with this possession.
So Sam Shutters with the kickoff and Fighting Irish with the possession. Second half underway.
We saw a solid running game by the Irish in the first quarter, and they have gotten on the board through the air since then.
Yeah, I was looking to see they lost their starting right tackle early in the game, and he has not returned as of yet, I don't think. But that offensive line, like I said, not the biggest ever, but a lot of experience. And there's a 5-yard run, again, between the tackles where few teams have had success against the Red Raiders this year. That's a 5-yard gain on first down.
Jim Caleb King, number 77, is now at right tackle.
Gotcha.
For the Irish. That's the third player they've had in that position since the injury to Asiaga Yatara.
Red Raiders making a couple of changes on defense. Second and 5. Pretty good pop right there. I thought he had good acceleration and ran into that brick wall.
Ran into a wall.
Faulkner with the tackle. First man to make contact. That's a no gain. So third down and 5. And sorry, brought up to the 27. So yeah, gain of 2. Third and 3. Third down and 3. So talk about that first 4 minutes of the second half. That could be very, very different. I don't think he caught that. If he did, he's on the ground. And I don't think it's enough for a first down. You could see him waving off. Not a catch. Tyreek King tried to come back and make the reception, but no. So there's that 1, 2, 3 and out we talked about.
A disappointed Mac Bartholomew, who's the quarterback and also the punter. But this looks to be the right decision.
Yeah, if you feel like you're in the football game, you're not going to gamble in a 4th down and a 3 situation on your own end. Low line drive. Fielded right there.
Boy, smart decision by Jamie and Theodore.
Just
that
to
line
catch
drive
that
kick.
one. Had that gone past him, that would have rolled for 15 more yards. So there's the first part of the equation, right?
Yes,
The 1,
yes.
2, 3, and Briggs Cherry's going back out there. I will say this. He's run a couple of times in the first half, but he has not, I don't believe, taken too many big hits so far this evening.
No.
He's been protected pretty darn well and has been smart about it. He knows that they need him in the playoffs to make that championship run that they want to make.
And Jack Ferguson, number 28, is in at running back as well.
So 1st and 10 Red Raiders. Nice bust up the middle. He runs hard.
Action Jack through a gaping hole.
Nice hole up the gut, and he accelerated quickly to get to the 48-yard line. Into Fighting Irish territory where it's a 1st down. Baylor with the gray uniforms tonight. Cherry play action, thrown off the back foot, found an open man.
Oh, had Caden Dewey, and goodness.
I was gonna
Nice defense there, just in the nick of time to knock that ball loose.
Yeah, they said Caden wasn't going to play tonight. He might have lobbied at halftime. So 2nd down and 10 for the for the Red Raiders in Irish territory at the 48. Pulls it down, makes the catch. Tossed out of bounds. I think that flag would have been thrown in the NFL right there because he had him on the sideline and gave him that little
extra shove.
Yeah,
little extra hello.
When you extend the arms in a situation like that, that's when flags usually come out. Down to the 42-yard line for a gain of 6. So 3rd down and 4. You might get a couple of cracks at this if you don't pick it up here on 3rd down. Clock running in this final game of the regular season. Screen.
Oh, my goodness. Just had him absolutely wide open. A little too much on that one.
Well,
Jack,
he stumbled just for a second trying to make that pivot.
True.
And that threw the timing all off. But let's see if they come back on 4th and 4.
no, they're going to kick.
Sam Shutters is out there. That means the Red Raiders will punt the football. A rare punt.
Hey, this is an opportunity for your special teams here to sharpen things up. If you could drop this maybe inside the 10.
Yeah, you're not going to flip a lot of field position here, and most likely. Goes out of bounds.
Wow, that's going to be way up.
See where they'll spot this.
You know, all things considered, it's right at the 20. We'll give that a B minus.
Well, guy only gets a punt one or two times
True.
a night, right?
You can't be too hard on him.
Right, that's punt number 1 of the night, right?
And a quick 3 and out for both these teams.
Yeah, second possession, second half for the Irish right here. Mac Bartholomew, the junior, now at quarterback, completes the pass, but not a lot of yak yards right there.
Braylon Gibbs, the sophomore, quick hitter.
Gosh, quarterback draw, not quite a 1st down, but sets up a 3rd and very makeable situation for the Irish right here. 3rd down, right? 3rd down and 1. 3rd down at the yard at the 29-yard line. Hit in the backfield and dropped.
Swallowed up that time. That looks like number 67, Maddox McClure, who also plays left guard, and swallowed that up, and they're going to force another punt by the Irish.
When you're an offensive lineman most of the time and you get to make a tackle, especially in the backfield, that feels pretty darn good. Jamie and Theodore lurks. They try to kick it away from him. Well, he picks it up on the hop. Tries to turn the corner. That one's coming back.
Yep.
Relax, Jamian.
Crackback block for.
Yeah, when he came back on the near side, so someone peeled back and.
Or did those two players?
See, that's what I think. I don't know if I saw a Baylor player inflict any damage. I thought those were two guys in white uniforms. They never pick up a flag in high school, do they?
Not in a while.
There's no penalty on the play.
Oh, yes, they do.
First
oh,
down.
yes, they do.
Jim Reynolds calls that one. Yeah, I didn't see. I saw the impact. I didn't see, but it didn't look like a Baylor player caused it. So what a fantastic return. In business at the 36-yard line.
Talk about a change in field position. And in Jamie and Theodore's demeanor, probably.
We are going to take a look at this. So here's Jamian. Now the ball hit. Now watch this. Oh, I think there was some impact caused by, oh my gosh, that was Max Menninger. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess they said it wasn't.
It wasn't crack back. It was.
Right.
That player was not ready for that hit.
No.
And Max came up and it was square. So, i.e. legal hit.
Great look on the replay, and that clears things up.
For Max Menninger, that's senior night for him too, right?
Yeah. Hey, 21, he's in the mix.
Whoa.
Now that's a smart play by Caden Dewey, because whether they rule it a lateral or not, you protect the football.
I think it was going forward, but as you said.
I think so too. You just can't take a chance on it.
So Caden Dewey went, and the Irish players didn't know if it was a free ball or not. So if that ball is going forward, it's simply an incomplete pass. If it's lateral or thrown in back, then that's a free football. So the incomplete pass is the best thing that could happen to Baylor, because that means just 2nd and 10.
And I think they've turned up the heat. This is a little chippy now.
I like it. You can see 7:07. No scoring in the second half thus far.
Jack Ferguson following Braxton Rain there. Positive yardage. But, yeah, the intensity level, the physicality level, they've turned up the volume just a bit here in the second half.
Finding Irish string it out nicely. So really not able to, put your foot in the ground and bring it up forward. 2-yard gain, so 3rd down and 8. Kind of like Jack Ferguson, right? Number 28. Well, I say this every time. He runs hard.
He does.
Say whatever you want. He runs hard. Cherry, near our far sideline, incomplete, and
boy, threw that away. Now the crowd is going to want a pass interference on Hank DeGennaro, who hit the ground.
But if you saw the defensive back, he was signaling that the ball was hit at the line of scrimmage, tipped at the line of scrimmage, meaning there is no such thing as pass interference. Now, as you can see, there is a flag down. So
But
was
it's in
it
the
tipped?
backfield.
Yeah, was it tipped or was it not?
Personal foul. 74 on the offense. It's a 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Third down.
That's on Xavier Wade, and he was pleading his case right there.
Well, you can't plead your case while he's making the call against you. I know that.
It's late. It's too late.
When the
You're
judge
right.
is throwing the gavel down.
I like the effort, but it's done.
Yeah.
Wow. 3rd and 23.
Well, the crowd's back into it. I know that.
Yeah, yes, they are.
And creative.
Some folks left at halftime. But boy, there's a hardy crew out there right now.
Yeah. Yeah, half the crowd left at halftime. They're soaping windows right now, and the crowd, and those that remained, they're getting into it. 3rd down and long for the Red Raiders. Have to get all the way to about the 26-yard line for a first down. Cherry just throws it long, puts it up in the air. Incomplete. That's good coverage. Jamie and Theodore went down, but he bumped into the defensive back.
It was well defended by the Irish. Xavier Bowman and Dominic Dadabo defensively for the Irish that time.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer.
Wow.
55 on the defense.
Wow.
Automatic first down.
Well, that is the biggest play of the second half.
That's Fowler, I think, who also plays offensive line. And again, when you're
call that on the senior J.R. Fowler.
When you think you have a chance, you got a chance to get your defense off the field. And you've got a 3rd down or whatever it was, 23. You can't make that mistake. All of a sudden you give up a first down, swing it near side to Caden Dewey.
And let's credit Jamie and Theodore with an outstanding block downfield there, which gave Caden just enough room to turn that into a very positive gain on first down. To your earlier point, Jim, emotional football is good until it isn't.
Yeah. It's an emotional game, I think.
No doubt.
I mean, in other sports,
got to be tempered.
You can be emotional, but that's not going to help you hit a fastball anymore. But in this game, I think it does make a difference, but you got to focus it. A little bit long with one-on-one coverage that time.
They had Jamie and Theodore on Xavier Bowman, the sophomore for the Irish. Just a little too much on that football. And Jamie's going to go down here.
Well, that's what they teach now, right? Go down. Go down quickly if you feel like any sort of discomfort.
If you feel like there's any kind of tension or pressure in one of your legs or both legs.
That's because of the fainting rule and faking rule and all those kind of things, college and pro ranks. But that has certainly filtered down to where we are right now.
All right, number 1 is up on his feet.
He's jogging a little bit.
Slowly.
He might have banged his knee on the track a little bit, but that track is rubberized. That doesn't mean that there's no pain there, but yeah. Earlier this morning when I talked to Coach Kimry, he was saying Osendo wasn't going to play tonight and Caden Dewey wasn't going to play tonight. Well,
the deuce is at the top of your screen.
I was going to say. He must have lobbied hard at halftime. Didn't play in the first half. Ferguson. Hit. So on the 3rd and 1, he's able to convert. So it'll be 1st and 10, Red Raiders. Baylor's last points were the Briggs Cherry 7-yard touchdown run with 2:32 to play in the first half. Baylor has not scored in this third quarter. Neither is Knox Catholic, for that matter. That's the score we had at halftime, 35-14. And that's where we still are right now. Cherry pulls it back, dumps it off. A penalty flag goes down. Like I said, a good night for that guy, Hank DeGennaro. With the catch, let's see if there's a hold on the Red Raiders.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Number 56 on the defense. It's a 10-yard penalty.
Irish are their own worst enemies right now, I think. Not a hold, but
hands to the face, which can happen
yeah.
when you're in basically hand-to-hand combat, but at the same time, you have to know where you are, and again, situationally, another mistake for the Irish.
That could happen very inadvertently. I get that as well. So it'll be 1st and goal down to about the 8.5, 9-yard line. Baylor looking for their first points. Good look there. Cherry with a nice athletic play just to bring it in. And yeah.
Got a flag down. That might be, I'm not going to guess. I'm just going to listen on this one. I have a
They tried to hit Judah Smith. We haven't heard much from him so far tonight.
Illegal man in the eligible downfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
That's usually one of those. He thought Briggs Cherry was going to run,
and he released downfield.
Start to block downfield, and most of the time they give you, 3-4 yards, right? So 1st and goal has become at the 9, back to the 14-yard line on the penalty. From the gun, Ferguson, nice job breaking the tackle for the touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown run. Baylor scores their first points of the second half and crosses that 40-point threshold tonight.
How about action Jack Ferguson with a 14-yard touchdown?
will attempt the extra point. Will hold.
2 minutes and 12 seconds. Time of possession 2:12 and 64 yards. 9 plays, 2:12, 64 yards. Red Raiders scored the 4:58 mark of the third quarter and now lead at 42-14. Yeah, I think penalties on the Irish were huge. And that one where they had him backed up. Let's see Jack Ferguson, your favorite player, in action right here.
Action Jack behind a convoy, reads its blocks well, and then right there hits that seam and takes it right into the end zone.
Braxton Rain with a nice seal block that time. Kind of opened up that lane to the near side. Ferguson able to take advantage, get in the end zone. 14-yard touchdown run, capping that 64-yard Red Raider touchdown drive.
Just a very well blocked play by the Baylor offensive line.
Making it 42-14. Baylor this half 2 possessions, 1 punt, a rare punt, and coming back with this touchdown run. Baylor took over in that drive at the 7:10 mark of the third quarter, and they'll give it up with under 5 minutes to play in quarter number 3. Baylor scored 21 points in the first quarter, 14 in the second, now 7 here in the third. Goes into the end zone. Knox Catholic with the possession, 4:58 to play in the third quarter. So 16:58 to play in the regular season. With playoff competition getting underway next week. As we said, last week's win by Baylor over Ensworth ensured that district championship and the first round bye and home field advantage. So no game for the Red Raiders next week. But the playoffs will begin for teams. 4 teams and hit in the backfield and dropped.
Emery Julian, the junior from Quebec, leads the way with that sack.
He leaked through and went right for the quarterback, and Bartholomew had no time to react. Baylor defense was there in a hurry. It's a big loss. That's a loss about 8, almost 9 yards. So second down, they'll call it 18.
Clock continues to run. The play clock is now at 10 seconds.
Baylor able to get pressure with 3 and 4 in that defensive line. Throwing it long, putting it up in the air. Incomplete.
Great effort by both those players. Jordan Darangila for Baylor and the young receiver, the sophomore Braylon Gibbs for the Irish.
Braylon Gibbs has a couple of nice catches tonight for the 6'3 sophomore.
One for a touchdown. That one hung on Mac Bartholomew just a little bit, but he was under duress that time. Nice pass rush by the Baylor defense so far in this series.
But now you got 3rd and 18, so you take a shot there. I think you just want to make sure you have punting room right here. Pick up a few yards.
Bottom of your screen, Tyreek King versus Jamie and Theodore.
Quarterback on the keep, dives forward.
It's close. They're going to give it to him. They're going to give it to him. On 3rd and 18, Mac Bartholomew.
Yeah, you're not going to see a quarterback scramble for 18 very often. But that worked. That worked for the Irish. Not a lot of converting on 3rd and 18 against that defense.
Busted containment and just a whole lot of want to from number 10.
You think he wants the starting job back?
I think he's earned it.
I think he's got it. Rushed once again, hit hard, bounces off, escapes again. Almost the one-handed.
Incredible one-handed catch by Tyreek King.
We mentioned pregame said number 7 is the guy to watch. 5-star receiver, already committed to Tennessee. That's why it's so fun to watch Tyreek King go against Jamie and Theodore. Both will be Volunteers next year. Theodore for the Red Raiders, committed to Tennessee, and Tyreek King of Knox Catholic has committed to Josh Heupel and company as well.
Bartholomew with somewhat of a stiff arm there to prevent a sack.
Yeah, he got out of trouble where most do not. Up the gut a little bit. Wonder how much that Knox Catholic can still use that running game down the way they are with, as you can see, 3:20 to play in the third quarter.
Well, they pulled off a 3rd and 18 with basically a scramble keeper. Let's see what they dial up here on 3rd and 7. And again, King versus Theodore at the bottom of your screen.
So the Irish have to get to the 41-yard line to get a first down. That was nice.
That
timing was
that
perfect.
Was fantastic defense, and look at that sportsmanship.
Yeah, that's see you in camp.
You got me, I got you.
See you in camp.
Let's see what the flag is.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 9 on the defense. 15-yard penalty results in a first down.
Now, we talked about discipline on the Irish side. Corey Faulkner called for a personal foul. That you had him off the field. That's a gift wrap first down. Moves the chains to the 49-yard line.
So we talk about the King versus Theodore matchup. That was the best one right there.
That was perfect
that was
timing.
mano on mano. The 1st and 10 after the penalty. Flush from the pocket again.
This is coming back. That's a hold.
Yep.
That one's going to come back.
Holding. We're 30 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
Yeah, that's the H-back that we talked about earlier. Call for the hold. That's one of those you have a running back against a defensive lineman or an H-back against a defensive lineman. You want to protect your quarterback. A lot of times quarterbacks in that situation, they thank you very much. You saved my backside, even though he got the holding call. Now you've got to deal with a 1st and 20 from the 39-yard line. Following that holding call on Chestnut. Baylor's showing blitz, and they're coming. He escapes once, pump fakes.
He's got tons of run.
Look at that.
Tons of room to run.
So he gets a good chunk of it back, more than half, and moves into Red Raider territory.
Corey Faulkner came barreling in there, but when he was basically shoved downfield, that gave Bartholomew so much time and room to run.
Picked up about, 13? 2nd down, 7.
They're going to call, that's a huge gain there.
It sure is. So you're back on schedule.
Looks
you're
like
back.
Bartholomew's the type of quarterback
He looks
you need
tough.
to keep him pinned up.
Yeah. He's not afraid of contact. That's what I've seen so far tonight.
Right.
And he's shown some escapability. His problem, the reason he lost is he was a little turnover prone early. Oof. That was not a good, I don't know about that decision.
Costamadio came barreling in on a blitz, and he had a lot of help, and that looked like that was a great candidate for intentional grounding, and
there
that's
it
what
is.
they just dropped the flag.
He was not outside the tackle box, I don't believe, right?
No.
And was there a receiver in the area?
No.
I don't think so, yeah. Here's your criteria
Intentional
right there.
grounding.
Yeah.
Number 10 on the offense. 5-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. Loss of down.
So the Red Raiders have dialed up some blitzes on this
They've
possession.
been very effective. They've gotten much more consistent pressure here in the second half. Ran past him a couple of times, lost containment a couple of times, but overall have been very effective in taking Mac Bartholomew off his spot and making him uncomfortable.
Yeah, defense a little bit more aggressive now. Aggressive play calling defensively, I would say. Back inside the 40 now on 3rd down. Have to get to the Baylor 41 for a first. Pressure again. There's another pick. And almost
another touchdown.
Almost another pick six.
Henry Kelly, the junior linebacker. Boy, Bartholomew under extreme pressure throws up a duck. Henry Kelly's there to reel it in and very nearly took it the distance.
Definitely a short field.
But to your point, Jim, again, aggressive play calling defensively by the Red Raiders, and it paid off there.
That sideline is
hyped.
Yeah, once again. So it'll be 1st and goal right from the 7-yard line.
Henry Kelly, the junior out of Signal Mountain.
Seven yards away. To the 5. Second down and goal. As you can see, less than 2 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Boy, you have to be impressed with the offensive line and the way Jack Ferguson runs behind them. That was a nice 5-yard gain.
You know what?
First down.
He's good at letting the blockers block in front of him, and that sometimes you see running backs that run into their back. Try it again.
Boy, that's easy.
Let's go other side.
Way too easy. They seal off the side, the right side. Jack Ferguson takes it in.
His second touchdown of the night, and he didn't even get any contact on that one. 1:20 to play in the third quarter. That will put us in our favorite spot, right?
It's Mercy Crew's rule. Favorite spot, too. Mercy rule, yes.
Ferguson tonight, 2 touchdowns, a 14-yard run in the third quarter, and now a 5-yard touchdown run in the third quarter.
And what a superb job by the Baylor offensive line on that right side. Just sealed it off completely.
Of course, set up by the pick. So it led to a short field and only 7 yards in 2 plays. And officially it took about 43 seconds.
Watch the right side of this offensive line, folks. They just seal things off completely. And Jack Ferguson outruns them to the end zone.
Second TD of the night. Look at that.
49-14.
Knox Catholic scoring all 14 of their points in the second quarter. It was 21-0 at the end of a quarter, 35-14 at halftime, and 14 unanswered here in the third quarter. Makes it 49-14 with 1:20 to play, and stanza number 3. A lot of teams played last night. There are a lot of Thursday night games in our area in high school football. Wow, look at this burst of speed.
Watch out. Amari McKenzie, that is not the first big play he's made tonight.
He put the burners on.
Tell you what, the Irish, they have got some wheels.
Yeah, they got some team speed, no question about that, which makes those one-on-one matchups pretty darn tough. You know, you want a double team King all the time, right?
Right.
But they got some other guys, and they've proven that they can scorch you a little bit.
And they're going to start this possession at the 48.
In Red Raider territory. But as the clock is running, you're saying why? Because, yes, we are in the mercy rule. That means running clock.
Wow. Yeah, that may be a face mask.
And it may be the final play of the third quarter.
Personal foul, face mask, 24 on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, be a first down.
Man, that's Emery Julian, and that's a stout penalty. That moves it down to the 33-yard line. And at this rate, that mercy rule will not last very long.
Yeah, the mercy rule is 30 points. A 30-point deficit. In the second half, it's automatic. You can have the mercy rule in the first half of a game, but both coaches have to agree. In the second half, it's automatic. But, like Craig was alluding to, if you get that margin under 30, then you go out of the mercy rule, which means it is no longer a running clock. Just personally, I'm a fan of the running clock. I just have to say.
So you can give up 3, you just can't give up 7.
Dare I say, I don't think there'll be any field goal attempts the rest of this
so
season. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't. I don't.
And I've proven that many times that I could be wrong.
Yeah, this is pretty much, I mean, from here on out, this is 4-down territory.
For sure. Maybe for both teams. But certainly for the Irish. First down. Nice tackle by the Red Raiders that time.
Mario blasted in from his linebacker spot.
That was it turned out to be a one-on-one tackle right there, right?
Sure was.
He just squared up. That's almost textbook right there. Gain of a yard in that first down play, so it's second down. Clock running. Bartholomew is taken over at the quarterback spot. Throws it up in the air. There's only one man back there.
Almost picked off.
Colby Barrett again.
Miscommunication there.
Yes.
Tyreek King went short, and Bartholomew threw it long.
Yeah, a couple of times tonight that King and Bartholomew has been kind of out of sync, right? That time he threw it long, but the receiver went short. And the guy that had the best opportunity was Colby Barrett.
Third and long here.
Yeah, this is a big third down play right here. With that running clock, you'd be amazed in that running clock how quickly it does indeed go. If the Irish are unable to convert.
Timeout. Catholic. That's their second of the half.
Now, like I said, mercy rule, but during a timeout, when a timeout is called, that clock does stop. So you can see we're stopped with 10:34 left to play in the game.
The Irish were a little bit unorganized there, Zeke Chestnut coming to check in late. They just didn't have all hands on deck for that play. But a key point, Jim, with 10:34 left, Knox Catholic down to 1 timeout now.
Good to see Jamie and Theodore on that far side of the field all the way. He looked a little bit banged up for a moment. David Gabriel Georges looked banged up for a moment, but both eventually popped back up, and to see Jamie and Theodore back in the lineup, that's good. Caden Dewey, they were going to hold him out, and like I said.
Caden said, no, I'm going to play a little bit.
Played a little bit in the second half. So for the Red Raiders, that's all good news, I would say. And a flag. You know what coaches love?
Snap infraction. Number 57 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
That's on the center.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Anson Hamilton. Maybe a head bob.
Coaches love pre-snap penalties after a timeout, right? That drives them insane.
Nothing makes them or the fans happier.
Yeah. That makes that film session a lot more fun, right? Well, a 5-yard walk-off, third down and long. This is a big third down, I think, for the Irish. Are they going to hang around and play, stay in the game? Pressure, up in the air. Throwing it long. Look
Absolutely
at that.
wide open.
Over the shoulder.
Tyree King blew by Jamie and Theodore. Mac Bartholomew took a serious shot at the end of that play.
Quarterback that hung in there, took a shot, put it up in the air. As Dan Kennedy is quick to point out, the margin is now 29, not 30.
That is 2 bombs tonight to
Yes.
Tyree King, and that one was a no-doubter.
10:16 to play, fourth quarter.
That ends the mercy rule
Right.
and lights up the scoreboard.
Bartholomew to King for that long touchdown pass to make it 49-21, 10:16 remaining. And for the Irish, their first points of the second half. So like I said, now we're out of mercy rule territory. That means the clock will do, as always, will stop at incomplete passes, stop when players go out of bounds, and we'll continue on a run. But
Standard operating procedure here.
I see Baylor dialing up a lot of runs right here and say, you know what? Let's end this regular season. Let's end it unbeaten. For the second year in a row, I might add.
Yes.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It's an incredible level of football.
Like I said, you see these guys that we've seen these last couple of years playing on Saturday and
Playing well.
in the SEC and in the Big Ten and in the Power Four. It will be returned. Caden Dewey. We've seen some great individual moves tonight as well. He's always one of those that could pull it out of the tool belt at any time. So 10:07 left to play in the game.
To your point, Jim, last week talking to Ohio State coach Carlos Lachlan, former Mock, and I asked him about Max LeBlanc, and he first thing out of his mouth, he's going to be a really good player for
Yes. Tight end for the Red Raiders last year, now a Buckeye. Was committed, remember, all last season to Ohio State, and Ohio State's pretty happy about the deal, I can tell you that. Cherry's still in the game, by the way, and still throwing some passes.
A nice, easy completion to Hank DeGennaro. Almost enough for a first down, depending on the spot. Yeah, they're going to move it. That's first and 10.
Moves it to the 49, so an 11-yard gain on that first down play. First and 10 Red Raiders, a yard away from midfield.
We've seen both teams use a version of that play. Just really tough to stop based on the cushion that the defensive back gives the receiver.
Hit in the backfield for negative yards.
Yeah, Caleb Johnson, the rover linebacker for the Irish, senior, 6'2", 210. He just came barreling in there and blew that play up.
So they sent the linebacker and handed off to Ferguson, netted negative yards that time. Loss of about 3 yards on that play. So from the 49 back to the 46. Second down and 13. That was forward, but it was close.
Caden coming upfield, and the ball was a little high.
So 3rd and 13 from the 46. Trying to get some of it back right there. Briggs Cherry goes over to the sideline for a moment. 2 receivers far side. Red Raiders football with a big lead. Trying to finish off the Irish here. The Irish who, before the game, said, looks like we're going to Memphis for the first round of the playoffs. That's a fun ride, right?
Boy, Cherry took a shot there. He just didn't have anybody there. Instead of forcing it, just throws the ball out of bounds. Took a little bit of a shot on 3rd down, and that's going to bring on the kicking team.
So that means enter Sam Shutters and company.
Sam Shutters is in the punt. Jason Jenkins is back to receive.
Jenkins, the return man. Senior wide receiver, doubles as a punt returner as well. 9:08, as you can see, left to play in the game. Short hop.
Trouble.
That's a win. If you're just able to get it off and dump it 30 yards down the field, that's a win.
All things considered, that's a positive play there.
Well, that means Irish will begin around the 28-yard line. Not the ideal kick. He bobbled it not once but twice. So 1st and 10 inside the 30. 28-yard line, 8:56 to play in the game. We're in the 4th quarter. 49 points on the board for the Red Raiders. DeGennaro with a catch. Colby Barrett with a pick 6. Briggs Cherry to Arenas-Michell for a 3-yard touchdown pass. Cherry to Theodore for a touchdown pass. Briggs Cherry on a 7-yard touchdown run for his own. Jack Ferguson, a couple of touchdowns in this second half.
They've made another change at quarterback. They're back to Garrett King, the sophomore at quarterback, and they went to Matthew Rogers, the sophomore at running back.
Rogers is 5'10", 183, and Garrett King started the game 6'1", 170. So the problems that Knox Catholic has had, you take a look at their offensive numbers, they're really not bad. They're a team that's averaging 26 points per game, and they would have been in more games with that turnover bug. That interception problem has plagued them all season long. Looking. Completes the pass on the way down, I might add.
That's a great effort.
Matthew Rogers making that catch.
Yes.
And again, that's one of those things. Receivers have to know, if your quarterback's in trouble, you work your way back to him. It's a good job by Rogers to work his way back to the quarterback. And I'd say that was kind of a dangerous pass by Mr. King. 3rd down long. King blitzing again, not getting it that time. Oof. They are just dangerous with a football.
Garrett King has got to protect the football. You just can't hang that up. I mean, that was was lobbed up in the air.
Whew. And you can see why this team has an interception problem, right?
Yes. You got to protect them, and you have to protect the football.
The possession of that ball is just.
They bring in Bartholomew, who's not only the quarterback, but a punter. And gosh, Jim, as many times as we've seen that tonight, you would think Garrett would kind of say, "Hey, let's protect the football first
at all costs." Takes an Irish roll. Will roll dead right at the 21-yard line. 7:47 left to play in the regular season. Red Raiders offense gets another opportunity. I shouldn't mention that interception thing, should I?
Well, you've already broken the seal on that baby, so.
I don't want to tempt fate on Halloween.
have got Costamadio at quarterback now.
So Briggs Cherry's going to end what we were talking about. Briggs Cherry's going to end the season
ball on the ground
with
and
no interceptions.
The Irish think they have it, and they have.
They do.
So often that first exchange between out of a shotgun, the quarterback and the running back. The first one after a quarterback change, especially, you see that happen sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you wonder just how many reps do those two players get in practice every week.
And now you have set the table for the Irish
at the 22-yard line.
To get seven more on the scoreboard with plenty of time left here in the second half.
There's a ways to go, but let's see what sense of urgency the Irish have right here. Garrett King again in this multiple quarterback system, I guess. Throws it in the end zone over the shoulder, and it takes one play for the touchdown.
Kaysen
Jenkins.
3-possession game.
So that happened in a hurry. All of a sudden, a turnover, and one play later in the end zone at the 7:35 mark. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is a 7-second possession. 7 seconds, one play, 22 yards.
All right. The lead is now 3 scores for Baylor. Jaden Arenas-Michell shaking his head. Yeah, that's a frustrated. Turnovers are the great equalizer.
And so could potentially be onside kicks, right?
Yeah.
Which is
as we have seen that recently.
So it's now 49-28. Baylor this year gave up 17 points to Santa Lucius, gave up 34 to Rabun Gap, gave up 30 to LFL. Since that time, gave up 7 to CPA, 18 to MBA, 35 to Macaulay, none against Ambassador Christian, and 21 last week against Ensworth. They've given up 28 points so far tonight. But remember, one of the scenarios, Baylor's already won the district. They've already won the #1 seed. They've already earned that first-round bye, and they already have home field advantage for their duration in the playoffs. So, surprise a little bit. Line drive fielded by Caden Dewey. Up to the 35. 36, 37-yard line.
Solid return.
Yes, on a line drive kick.
Let's see who's. Well, we got him. All right, Caden Dewey with a leg.
Oh, hobbled.
Leg injury. He's going to limp off. Briggs Cherry back at the controls for Baylor.
Yeah, the last one.
You kind of knew that was coming.
That was a possibility. The Red Raiders take over. 7:24 left. And I think we'll see a lot of that. Ferguson wrestled to the ground and a little extracurricular, and they've kind of let some of that go so far tonight. So Red Raiders begin the drive around the 37, pick up a yard on first down. Second down and 9. Clock running with 7 minutes left to play in the regular season. 1 yard pickup on first down. 21-point lead, so 3-possession game. Cherry with Ferguson standing next to him. Ferguson in the grasp, and fans wanted horse collar. There it is. There's the flag.
That's going to be on J.J. Payne.
Yeah, Dan Kennedy just said there are 2 flags on the play. One downfield, one
Personal foul. Horse collar attack. Number 20 on the defense. After the play. Personal foul. 74 on the offense. Those penalties offset. Second down.
Huh.
I don't know if there was a 20 on the field. Number 20 for the Irish is Marquise Witt. I didn't know if he was on the field. The bottom line is, yeah, they offset. 2nd and 10. We are swimming in mud here in the second half.
Yeah, we
for
are.
Sure.
6:25 remaining. Clock running once again. Second down and 9. Remember, Ferguson picked up that 1 yard on first down from the offsetting penalties on down number 2, which will be replayed right here.
And the Red Raiders intent on milking as much of this clock as possible before they snap the football.
Yeah, you can see the play clock, so Briggs Cherry will probably at least get it down to 10, if not more. Getting a little bit of a high tackle.
And the Irish are just
they're
crashing down.
They're
here
still playing.
defensively. Yeah.
They're still playing. Don't think they're not.
Might have to throw the football a bit to finally put this one to bed.
Judas Smith checks in. He's number 14, as you can see.
Jim, I think a first down would go a long way here.
To decide this madness. From the 40, have to get to the 47, throwing it long. Little push and a catch.
Boy, Hank DeGennaro.
I'll say it again, he's had a great night.
Great effort. I thought that might have been pass interference.
I did too.
He just fought harder.
Worked his way back to the football, and he has had an outstanding night. Touchdowns. That might be his best catch of the evening. They were in a wrestling match on that near sideline. Kind of caught it Willie Mays style, right? Caught it in the bucket for a big first down.
Plenty of contact when that ball was in the air.
Yes, I agree. Down to the 22-yard line. Clock running with 4.5 minutes left to play. 4.5 minutes remaining in the regular season. And the TSSAA will figure out all the tiebreakers, and we'll get brackets out and get ready to go. Just wonder. Now, the Irish only have 1 timeout remaining. Think about that. And maybe it's not really going to make a difference right here, but they would love to be able to stop the clock 2 or 3 times here. Instead, they only have 1. So Jackson brings it down to the 17-yard line, second down and 5. Red Raiders took over the possession with 7:24 to play in the game, and as you can see, they've held on to about 4 minutes already.
They've got Costamadio now in at quarterback. And that O-line.
Look at that pile move. Look at that move. Inside the 10. Wow. Not many times you see that pile move like that. That'll be a first down. First down and goal.
First down and a clock mover.
At the 8-yard line. We approach the 3-minute mark. 3 minutes remaining. I believe those receivers are just window dressing, to be honest with you. Hit the line of scrimmage and loss of a couple of yards in that first down play.
So they can take this all the way down to the 2-minute mark if they choose to do so.
That's Whaley, number 22, am I right, in the backfield there? Keeps the pile moving a little bit as we move under the 2-minute mark.
And the Irish in no hurry to stop.
No.
They're kind of raising the white flag on this thing.
So it'll be third down and goal. Ball back at the 8-yard line. Third and goal from the 8. With less than 90 seconds to play in this regular season. 90 seconds until an unbeaten regular season. Tight end moves in motion. They flare it out to him. Braxton Rain stays on his feet. He hurdled one earlier in the game. Didn't work out that time. It'll be fourth down. One thing he did wrong.
Stepped out of bounds.
Thank you very much. See, when you're married like Craig and I are, we can complete each other's sentences.
Chemistry.
From the 7, so he gains a yard. Again, we talk about field goals, kicking game. You just don't do that in this situation.
Baylor's not going to kick. They just want to
end it.
Yes.
Timeout. Baylor. That's their first of the half.
I'm guessing that is just to talk to a young quarterback. Say, here's what you need to do. Don't throw it in the end zone unless you got someone wide open, or, just hang on to the football. Even if you
go through your progressions, and if it's open, go. If it's open, throw.
But don't force anything. I think that's what this is all about. Just telling a young quarterback to add a turnover earlier in the game. Hey, don't force it. We got a 3-touchdown lead with 64 seconds left. So a quick timeout with 1:04 to play. Might just quarterback keep or something simple. There it is. Hit. Okay. So, Red Raiders give it over on downs. Notre Dame gets it back with 57 seconds left to play in the contest. Which just shows you the talent that Knox Catholic they really do have, but if you are turnover prone, you mentioned the great equalizer. They've been involved in some close games. They did win last week over CPA, lost to Macaulay by 22, but have been in a lot of games until turnovers. They're 5-3, so it hasn't been a terrible season, but just 1-3 in the district.
Going up top.
Now here's the situation.
That one should have been caught.
Yeah, certainly could have been caught.
Bigger picture, Jim, if you're going to beat one of these teams, Macaulay, Innsworth, Baylor, especially in the postseason, you have got to bring your A game. You can't give away a possession. You have to be very intentional in your kicking game, and you have to take care of the football.
Yeah, when you're an underdog.
Not to mention, you've got to find a way to put points on the board, which they can do.
Sideline interference on the offense. Half the distance to the goal. Second down.
Oh, they're actually calling it, because that's the second time tonight, right?
Wow.
I'm not sure I call that with 51 seconds left to play in the season, just to be honest with you.
So we've seen unsportsmanlike conduct on the defensive coordinator. Now we've had sideline issues.
I'm just letting that one go.
I think the clock is the ultimate arbiter.
Across the 20 and up to the 22-yard line.
Did they call a timeout? Oh, they stop it to move the chains.
Less than 30 seconds to go. Not showing that sense of urgency, are they? Incomplete. Ricocheted on the far sideline.
Question is, will this be the last play of the game?
We're getting there close. I know that. Okay, I'm finding my brackets. Throwing it underneath. Nice move. And that is...
We got one more.
Because that was a first down. That's the reason the clock stopped. But look, the Irish are already on the field, so they're saying we're not going to stop it. 49-28, the final score, and an unbeaten regular season for the Red Raiders. Like I said many times tonight, Baylor wrapped up that number 1 seed and the first round bye with their win over Innsworth last week. So that means the Red Raiders will play their playoff games at home until the championship game, which will be at Finley Stadium on Thursday, December 4th at 7 o'clock. That's the championship game. We'll see if the Red Raiders get there. So a bye next week for Baylor. Then they will be in action on the 14th. If they win on the 14th at home on the 21st, a win on the 21st, and then you get that Finley Stadium date on December 4th. But a lot of football will be played. Postseason action begins next week. Baylor with a first-round bye. Baylor, Briarcrest, Innsworth, and Brentwood Academy getting the 4 first-round byes in this division. Division 2, Class AAA. And again, you have to go over some of the tiebreakers to figure out the total brackets, and that's what the TSSAA experts will be doing tonight. And then those brackets will be posted online at TSSAsports.org. You'll be able to find out all that playoff information. What we do know, Red Raiders will not leave the city limits of Chattanooga. They'll either be here or Finley Stadium for their playoff run.
And a lot of folks in red hoping for both.
2 games here, possibly, and then Finley Stadium. For Knox Catholic, they were not sure about their matchup either, but feel like they're going to play. I think they said they thought Christian Brothers was the most likely scenario. But we'll see how the tiebreakers go tonight. Figure out those brackets. We know one thing, we'll be here 2 weeks from tonight to take on whomever. That would be round 2 of the playoffs.
All right, folks, here we go. Final regular season game of the season. Briggs Cherry gets us started. Rolls to his right. He's going to spot Hank DeGennaro right there at the goal line. First touchdown of the game, 7-0. We aren't done. Defensively, Red Raiders in the mix. Pressure on the quarterback. Throws it up for grabs, and Colby Barrett is there to make the interception. He will truck down the right sideline and waltz his way into the end zone. 6 for number 8. That makes it 14-0. That caps off a long defensive stand by the Red Raiders. Briggs Cherry goes back to work. This caps off on 4th down and 3. He's going to spot
the big man,
Jaden Arenas-Michell, to make it 21-0. And then things get even more fun. How about this one? Floats it to number 1, Jamie and Theodore. That puts him up 4 scores, 28-0. More offense to come. This time, Briggs Cherry at the controls does this himself. Little stutter step, cut inside for a touchdown, 35-7. That's a 7-yard touchdown. In the second half, action Jack Ferguson. The first of 2 touchdowns. This one from 14 yards out. That makes it 42-14. The final score, 49-28. The interception here by Henry Kelly. Again, a solid night for the Red Raider defense. Kelly nearly takes this into the house. That would set up Ferguson with 1 more touchdown. And the final score tonight, Baylor wins it 49-28.
To finish the regular season 9-0, perfect in the district, obviously, perfect at home, perfect on the road. Playoff action begins next week. Playoff action for the Red Raiders 2 weeks from tonight. And again, the Red Raiders will be at home for the duration of the postseason, here at Haywood Stadium or possibly Finley Stadium as well. See you here in 2 weeks. Round 2 of the playoffs after Baylor receives that first round bye. Playoff action underway next weekend. We'll be here in 2 weeks and hopefully a lot more than that. Red Raiders with an unbeaten season. Congratulations.